A bottle of...
Oh, shit. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
Where the hell is the fucking Hall of Fame?
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
How dare you say such things about a widow?
Did she eat the corpse?
Right. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your head and let it flow into me. I can see inside you the sickness is rising.
I think he's some kind of darky.
Seems that all that was good has died.
Hey, living up my coattails!
Oh no, the world is a scary place.
Quiet down on the Christmas show, for fuck's sake!
Now that you've woken up the demon in me.
Whose idea was this?
Why?
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You
Sit on my face.
fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
Go, get it.
Open up your hate and let it flow into me. Why can't you just fuck up and die? Get down with the sickness.
That's it, you.
Fuck you, I'm doing this shit. I'm down with the sickness. Just do it to this shit. Get the fucking organ. Get down with the sickness.
She got out.
Here it comes. Get ready to die. Get ready to fuckers.
Die. I'm the king of the board.
Goddamn travesty right
Don't
now.
fuck with me.
I should be king of the board.
No shit.
Hey, turn my headphones up.
By the way, I've got a debate scheduled with Crumbley on Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
What a showdown this should be.
This is it's for the King of the Board. We are facing each other in the next round, myself and Crumbley. He is representing TNA. I am representing humanity. And we are going to have a debate about this subject. And the date has been set. The time has been set. It was agreed to in advance. Crumbley is now trying to claim that he works and he cannot be there at that time. But I do not give a fuck. I will be there at 4 o'clock Pacific Time on Ed and San Antonio's show on Blog Talk Radio. And Crumbley can either be a man and show up or not. I don't give a fuck. I will be there. So, with that said, and by the way, no wonder he's fucking chickening out. Look at the fucking show he's got to defend this week.
Indeed.
Who the fuck could defend this?
Oh, no.
Streak of winning debates is over, you cocksucker. So, we had, and by the way, I don't believe there's been a streak of debate wins by Crumbley. That is the rumor, but who is determining this, and I don't buy this. I don't buy it.
I'm the king of the board.
All right, hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Drunkcast. I am your host in San Antonio, and I'm joined by my co-host, the Peach Machine. And today we will have a live debate between one Bryan Alvarez and one Crumbley for their matchup for the King of the Board, which will be tomorrow. Now, before we do have another caller that came on the line here, so let me make sure and see if this is Bryan. Area code 425. Who's this?
It's me.
Okay, cool. All right, well, everyone, we got Bryan on the line, we got Crumbley on the line, and we got the Peach Machine on the line. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to give the two guys an opportunity to state their cases for about a minute and a half. Just tell everyone why they should vote for you, and I will let Crumbley go first.
Now, there's one huge reason everybody should vote for me for King of the Board 2009. Bryan Alvarez abandoned the board. He said he was done. He said he was done. He said he was never coming back to this hellhole, to this shithole. And once Dave Meltzer came on board, he was ashamed of us. We were lepers. We were freaks. There was something wrong with us. He wanted to keep us away from the new subscribers. I'm a hardboarder. I'm a total nonstop aficionado, and I am your King of the Board 2009. No matter how many votes I end up getting, no matter if I win or if I lose, I know that I win the hearts and the minds of hardboarders all across this great globe.
Okay, Bryan, what do you have to say to state your case?
The reason that I should be the king of the board is because undoubtedly I bring more entertainment than anybody else to the board. I write poetry, I answer questions, I troll Rovert. I do a number of different things, whereas Crumbley here is a one-trick pony. Crumbley loves TNA. That's his gimmick. He never sees anything bad about TNA. All of the Impact shows are great. That's his entire gimmick. He brings nothing else to the table. And as far as leaving the board, I did in fact leave the board for a week at the peak of the insanity as everybody was going crazy about how the ship was sinking, everything was dying, the place was going to go out of business. And once everything calmed down, a week later, I did in fact return. And last time I checked, the board is better than ever, thanks largely to my campaign to become king of the board. And things are great. And of all those people that cried about how it was the end of the world, I think about 2 people actually left for good. And I don't even remember who they are because they are not in myths. So, king of the board, 2009. That's me.
Peach, would you like to ask the 2 of them a question for this debate?
Right. I would like to ask you guys a question, and I'm not going to say I'm endorsing either any person for king of the board other than Ed and myself, which you should vote for today. But I would like to get your guys' feelings on the current angle going on in the WWE. Do you think Shane has a right to be in the No Way Out cage match against Randy Orton?
I think the whole situation is hilarious. I'm waiting for the day that Dixie Carter's fat middle-aged kid comes up and takes on the whole main event mafia, because that makes about as much sense as what happened last Monday, where Shane obliterates everybody, as World Wrestling Entertainment is wont to do. So, I think that Shane has every right. I think it's great. I think they're really doing a bang-up job over there.
I have no idea what he just said about Dixie Carter and what anything has to do with the Randy Orton thing. The whole thing was horrible, and it makes me angry because I actually have a ticket for the No Way Out pay-per-view, and so I actually have to see this match. I could have seen Randy Orton against an actual good wrestler. Instead, I have to see Randy Orton against Shane McMahon, which greatly angers me. And I don't expect this to be a blow-off, and so I figured that at WrestleMania we're going to have some sort of match involving Orton and Shane McMahon. And why anybody would care about that, I have no idea. They had momentum behind Randy Orton, and they killed it by having Shane come out and beat everybody up, and the whole thing sucks.
Well, my point on asking that question was just to get a rant out of Bryan, and I think I succeeded there.
Okay, well, my question is, Bryan, you kind of caused a little bit of controversy with something you said about UFC being bigger than the Super Bowl. Crumbley, would you like to respond to that comment?
I think it's completely ludicrous. It illustrates the bubble that Bryan Alvarez lives in. I think that, realistically, this is illustrated by how many people show up to Craig's house and eat cookies, or even the case that was stated by Dana White, that he thought that it was bigger than the Super Bowl. It's a shock that the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championships would say that. I don't know if that's a scoop or what, but patently ludicrous. And I know that Bryan's case is that, well, yeah, Crumbley, but you weren't there in Vegas. But Bryan, time after time, has commented on how people should be feeling about events that they went to. Case in point, Bound for Glory 06, I attended a great night, an awesome event between Sting and the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Crowd was off the hook. This is awesome. Chants TNA, TNA, TNA. I saw people jumping up and down, clapping. They were hugging babies. People were weeping. And Bryan gets on his show and says, well, people who go to TNA when they chant, this is awesome. It's not really awesome. I don't know if we were tricked into cheering or what, but there you go.
I have no memory of that whatsoever. As far as numerous times. Quiet down, you. It's my turn. As far as the Vegas deal right here, I was in fact in Vegas, and I never said that UFC was bigger than the Super Bowl. I said that UFC in Vegas this weekend had more buzz in Vegas than the Super Bowl did. I was not at Craig's house. I was not at Tony's house. I wasn't eating chips with my friends. I was actually down there in Vegas. I was down there with Ed. I was down there with about a half dozen different people from the website. And Ed, in fact, has also agreed that Friday and Saturday there was far more buzz, far more T-shirts, far more of a buzz for UFC than the Super Bowl. Dana White, you might recall, did not say that UFC was bigger than the Super Bowl in 2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008. He said it this year in 2009, the reason being that this was the year that he actually felt that way, as did I and as did other people who were actually down there in Vegas. So if you want to sit in your home in the Impact Zone and tell me that I didn't actually see this in Vegas, go ahead, but I was there, I saw it, and that's just the way it is.
So people from a mixed martial arts message board were more excited about a mixed martial arts event than a football event. I guess that's...
On a message board, I was down there in Vegas. I didn't even stay at the MGM where the event was held. I was at New York, New York. We walked down the Strip. You can ask Ed. We went to a bunch of different casinos to go to, buffets and the like. And in all of those casinos, everywhere you looked, there was a BJ Penn, a Team Hawaii T-shirt. There were GSP shirts. There were tap-out shirts. There were UFC shirts. People were talking about the fight. I went from the airport to the hotel in a shuttle. All the people there were talking about UFC. I got in elevators. People asked, are you going to the fights? We went to the Penthouse Club. People asked, are you going to the fights? Everybody was talking about the fights this weekend.
Okay. Now, excellent. Now, Bryan, you said tap-out T-shirts. Now, we all know that can be, not a fight fan. That can just be your average run-of-the-mill high school douchebag. I see it every day. But what that could be your average douchebag. But I would guess that if you were going to Vegas for football, you're more likely to wear a jersey than a tap-out shirt. True. Very true. I would like to ask both of you guys, what can TNA do to improve their product? We'd like specific answers, and please note that I am asking Sinbad's question, who is my opponent today. I guess I'll go first then. Very simple answer. Get rid of their current writing team. Unlike Crumbley here, who can never find fault in anything that TNA does, I am more than happy to point out when things in TNA are good, including on the show this past week, which I did think was the most counterproductive show I've ever seen from any wrestling company. I could find good things about it, despite all that. Scott Steiner was funny. There was some comedy. I will never take away the fact that TNA has tons and tons of great wrestlers. I will never take away the fact that almost everybody that goes to a TNA house show puts over the wrestling on the shows. And it's pretty obvious that TNA, if they work towards their strengths, could have an awesome show. If they concentrated on wrestling, if they concentrated on simpler storylines, they've got some people in that company that actually have great wrestling brains. They've got Jim Cornette. They've got Mike Tenay. The list goes on and on. Instead, it's all about comedy. It's all about stupid comedy. You look at TNA over the last several years, and it's a broken record, but they have more viewers now than they've ever had, and they've actually got less people buying their pay-per-views than they did when they were on Fox Sports Net. And that tells me something right there about the current booking team. It's the same bullshit week after week after week, and it's very clearly not working. And why they don't give another booking team a chance to try and turn this thing around with the talent they have, I have no idea.
And you know that there's less buys than ever. How exactly, Bryan? Because my data indicates that they just had the biggest house show of their existence, the biggest tour of their existence. They're drawing more TV ratings than they ever had. But you harp on the buys thing, a fact that you can't prove. That there's no data out there saying how many people buy TNA pay-per-views one month or the other month. It's all based on conjecture and how many emails you receive. First off, their biggest show ever drew 8,000 fans. That's hardly impressive. Their regular house shows don't do anything near that. As far as the buy rates, if you look at the numbers that I come up with and you look at the numbers that Dave comes up with, just out of curiosity, Crumbley, how do you get your ratings information for Impact? I look at a variety of sources. I look at your site. I look at the Torch. I look at a lot of things. Okay, so you look at a bunch of wrestling websites. Okay, I get my numbers straight from Spike TV. We have sources in Spike TV. We have sources in the pay-per-view industry. We have sources in Viacom. Nobody has exact numbers for TNA because the buy rates are so low that they don't bother tracking them. But the numbers that we have are within probably 10 or 15% of what the actual numbers are. There are a lot of people in TNA that have access to the general numbers, and they talk to each other, and they talk to us. And if you recall, there's never been a time where Dixie Carter has done an interview, or anybody else that works for the company, and said, these buy rates that you see on the Internet are completely absurd. We're doing much better than that. They never bother going up there and saying that because it would be a blatant lie. The numbers that we come up with are very, very close to the actual number of buys. And we have a number of sources which give us this information. And I actually do have people inside the company that tell me when I'm incorrect about buy rates, which I was, in fact, for December. I predicted 12,000. They told me it was not quite that low, but it wasn't like anybody said. The number was actually 75,000. The numbers are all in the 20,000 range. It's not a mystery. Everybody knows this, and it's confirmed from a variety of sources. And when you were wrong about that, you printed a retraction, right? I'm sure that you went to your newsletter and you informed everybody that your number was off base. People talk about retractions all the time. They were talking about my Ireland fuck-up a couple of weeks ago, and there was a retraction in the very next newsletter. I'm not talking about
Brian.
that. I'm talking about the TNA buy number for the December pay-per-view.
I've talked several times about it not being 12,000.
Did you?
Yeah.
I guess I missed that then. I apologize if that's true.
Okay, guys, so let's change the subject for real quick. We're going to get another question. If you are able to win this round and go on to win the King of the Board, what will you do to ensure that the board is better than ever and be able to unifying the trolls and the bright bots so we can all be one happy family? Crumbley, what would you do to ensure this happens?
I think that just be winning this tournament, I think that just be winning the King of the Board 2009, I think that it would boost the morale of the board to such levels that there would be no strife. Brybots and lurkers and hardboarders and whatever Rovert is, we would all get along in one happy circle, and we would sing Kumbaya down by the fire, and everything would be great. Guaranteed, 100%.
As much as people bitch about Brybots and everything like that, I think the reality is that if you look at the early matches here on the board, the early King of the Board matches for this year, there were X number of voters. And, of course, everybody's talking about Facebook and how I've used Facebook and up the number of people that vote for me. But if you actually look at all of the voting, the number of votes for all of the matches is now going up because of the attention that I have brought to the King of the Board. There are a very small minority of posters on the board that do not like noobs and Brybots and that sort of thing. But the reality is the board is more fun now because of this King of the Board than it's been in a long, long time. And I attribute that almost completely to my candidacy for King of the Board. And if I should be King of the Board, I guarantee you that the board will be so much more fun then than it is now because I will be in charge, and it'll be a year straight of fun, enjoyment, games, new people on the board, new ideas, change. It's time for a change here on the board, and I'm going to bring it.
Now, more importantly than what you bring to the board here is I want to know what each of you will bring to the convention in Vegas, and how will you make that a better experience for all of us boarders who will be meeting up in May.
Is Crumbley going to the convention?
No, Crumbley is not going to the convention. I'm a college student working part-time and out of money for Vegas shenanigans.
That's sad. Well, I am going to the convention in May, and what I'm going to bring to the convention is an ass-kicking for Mike Coughlin. Coughlin and I are going to be squaring off in a grappling match. We're the same weight. I believe we're about the same experience. I think he was actually training a little bit before I was, but I think it's generally about the same. So we are going to have a battle, perhaps to the death. I'm going to crush him. And so for all of you that hate Mike Coughlin and can't stand 5-star radio, I will be your savior.
Okay, and you brought up about the Facebook stuff. Crumbley, in your opinion, has Bryan cheated, or what's the deal? What's your opinion on the whole Facebook controversy?
I think that Bryan, in each of his matches, even if he didn't use Facebook, I think that he would have won anyway. However, I do believe that it's patently unsportsmanlike, and it's one of those deals where, like, okay, if I'm the University of Oklahoma, I'm a college football team, I'm the best college football team, and I'm playing my school, the University of Toledo, and I go, but it's the fourth quarter, and I'm still throwing long bombs, I'm bringing blitzes on every play, and I run up the score. What are you proving? Unsportsmanlike, up and down from Bryan Alvarez.
Unsportsmanlike is when you do not follow the rules that were set down when the sport was founded, or however you want to term it. When
the second round, the rules were established, and you broke them anyway.
No. When the King of the Board was created, there were no rules about not using Facebook. And as much as people cry about Facebook, if you actually look at the King of the Board tournament, I've got text messages from people, I've got PMs from people, people have used YouTube, people have gone off-site to promote their King of the Board here in a number of different ways. I just happen to use Facebook. I didn't even think about it. I figured everybody's posting on Facebook, everyone's posting vote for me, I may as well. So, despite the fact that I have 2,000 friends or whatever the number is on Facebook, very few of those people actually subscribe to the website. And the other 1,900 people that aren't subscribers, they can't vote because you can't go on the board unless you're a subscriber. So really, all I'm doing is alerting people that are already paying that if they want to vote for me or not vote for me, they are welcome to do it on any specific day. So that's all I'm doing. Now, yes, in the second round, Pegasus Kid said, I'm going to make this rule where you can't do this, and if you do, you're going to be banned. I said, fine. If you're going to try and change the rules now, I am not going to allow you to change the rules halfway through the tournament. If you want to make these rules next year, go for it. If you want to make these rules permanent as soon as this contest is over, fine. You can't change the rules in the middle of the game because people are complaining. And I might add, I was winning all these contests, so the people that were complaining were actually the minority. So I refuse to change the way I'm competing because the minority is upset about it. If the majority were upset about it, I would consider it, but they're not. It's the minority. I am not going to change the rules. I made it very clear that if you want to change the rules, fine, I'm out of the tournament. Well, I'm still in the tournament. Pegasus Kid got RUNNOFT, so I'm still here. And whatever you guys want to do next year is fine with me, but I'm not changing the rules now because certain people were upset about it. So I, as noted, have brought notoriety to this tournament. I brought more people into this tournament to compete. I believe that my wins via Facebook, as noted, there have been a number of people that have created polls, not official polls, that don't involve Facebook, asking if I would win, and I'm still winning. So, yeah, maybe Facebook helps with a landslide, but I think I'd still win anyway. So I don't find this cheating. I don't think it's unfair. This is the way it was when it began, and I'm not going to change it now.
You said that you brought notoriety to the King of the Board. Notoriety is not always a good thing. So yeah, you brought notoriety. You also brought shame to the King of the Board, Bryan Alvarez.
No, I didn't. There are a small number of people that feel that I've shamed this tournament. I have made it more fun. But if you actually look at all of the numbers, if you actually look at the number of people that are voting, and if you look at the vast majority of posts, everybody's having a good time, and everybody's laughing at the people that are freaking out because I'm winning.
Yeah, and these are these hundreds of people that are your Facebook friends who don't post on the board. They don't post on the board. So that's why you're seeing in your polls where you're up by 150. Because these are the people who don't read the board to begin with.
It doesn't matter. This is democracy. The people that are asking, the people that are saying this should not be a poll. It should not be a poll where you can't see who votes. We want to know who votes and who you're voting for. What kind of an election is that? You're trying to throw democracy out the window because you're mad that the guy that you don't want to win is winning? It's ridiculous.
This would be like, Bryan, if I lived in Botswana and I got a vote for who is the president of the United States. If you don't go on the board, why are you voting for the king of the board?
These people are going on the board.
They're not board users, though. If I lived in Botswana and I want America to change, I don't have a vote for the President of the United States of America.
Yeah, those are the 1,800 people on Facebook that aren't subscribers. Those people can't vote. You can only vote if you're a subscriber.
It's not who's the king of the website. It's the king of the board.
And these people are all going on the board to vote. They all lurk on the board. They all go on the board to vote. If you look at look at Raw, for example, look at the number of people that are on the board during Raw. There's over 100 people this past Monday night. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that go on the board and don't post. But just because they don't post doesn't mean that they shouldn't be allowed to have a vote.
Okay, guys, well, Bryan's a little stripped for time here, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and go straight to the closing arguments here.
I got 8 more minutes, so we can keep going for a while.
Okay, well, Pete,
right,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
What were you going to say?
No, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I would like each of you to describe for me what you feel is your candidate or your opposing player's best quality. Crumbly, what do you think Bryan's best quality is, and vice versa? Crumbly, go ahead.
His best quality is he's run a kick-ass website for the past 3 years. A website that we have. I've been on that board, and you can love Bryan, you can hate Bryan. I've been on that board probably thousands of hours over the past 3 years. The majority of the time I've enjoyed myself. Hundreds and hundreds of radio shows that I've listened to walking to school, walking to work, on my bike, at the gym. So, he's created a kick-ass community and website for all of us to enjoy. How was that, Bryan? That was very nice.
Very good. Crumbly is a fantastic debater. He is a very passionate man, and I respect the fact that he is one of those people that sticks with TNA through thick and thin. There are a lot of people that have given up on this product and can find nothing in it. Crumbley can always find something positive in Impact, and he's one of those die-hard supporters that, quite frankly, it's die-hard supporters that keep this website the way that it is. So I have to give Crumbley a lot of respect for that.
Okay, well, let's go the total opposite way. What do you guys find as the worst quality in your opponent? Somebody go ahead. What's the worst quality in Bryan?
He's just irrational. Just this irrational hate over a television show. And just the ways to pick out the flaws. I mean, that realistically, pro wrestling, you know, it's lowbrow entertainment. It's fun entertainment. It's mainly marketed towards children in many, many ways. It'd be like if you watched an episode of the Power Rangers and you picked apart, well, that doesn't make sense. The Megazord couldn't do that. Blah 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 blah. It's wrestling. Just lighten up a little bit.
Crumbley's biggest flaw is the fact that he looks at the world and TNA through these rose-colored glasses. If TNA were as successful as WWE and grossing $500 million a year, or if they were successful as UFC has been the last several months, then yeah, maybe I would look a little irrational if I were picking holes in everything they did. But when I look at business in many aspects being better back when they were on Fox Sports Net, and now they're up to nearly 2 million viewers, and they've got less people than ever buying pay-per-views, I mean, obviously there's a problem. I mean, this is a documented fact that there's a problem here, and to look at it and say that there's no problem, I mean, that's one of the reasons that TNA has all the problems they have right now is because they write horrible television, and they think that it's good. They can't look at the problems here and try to find ways to remedy them. At least on Raw, that fucking thing with Randy Orton was the dumbest fucking thing that I've ever seen last week. But at least last week, or at least this week, they tried to fix it. They tried to come up with some stupid explanation, which was stupid, don't get me wrong, but they tried to do something to remedy the situation. TNA had this show that, if you look at the poll on the Observer website, was like the worst response to a TNA show of all time. And I guarantee there's
got the highest rating that they've had in months.
No, they did not. This past show did not get the highest rating they've had in months. This show had 1.6. This show had 1.6 million viewers. There was a show 2 weeks ago that had 1.8. This was down 200,000 viewers.
I was talking about the takeover segments themselves. If you look at the quarter hours, dramatic jumps in the ratings.
Yeah, when the show started, like any other train wreck show, people started tuning in to go, what the hell is this? It peaked at 9:30, it peaked at 9:45, and then at 10 o'clock, when the takeover was still taking place, the quarter started to fall, and they continued falling throughout the show. The fact is, they're not going to look at that. They're going to try and find positives in these things that were actually negatives, much as you do. And I think that's your major fault is you are a TNA nut hugger, and what they need is somebody that's going to look at the things that are wrong with it and point those things out so those things can be remedied and we can actually have a good company.
Okay, guys.
I don't think I'd qualify a fan as a nut hugger, but, you know.
Well, there's a big difference. A fan is somebody that watches the shows and sees the good and the bad, much like I do. And a nut hugger is somebody that watches every show, and no matter how fucking horrible it is, they say it's a great show. That's a nut hugger.
Do you honestly think that the millions of people who watch TNA Impact every week, I don't talk about America where the ratings are tracked, they're talking worldwide, because they have TV clearances. Pretty much, you go anywhere in the world, you can find a station that airs TNA Impact. The people who watch these shows aren't sitting there with a pad and paper writing down, okay, well, that was going to hurt the pay-per-view buys. They watch the shows because they enjoy the shows.
Okay, guys,
you talk about vocal minority. The people on the board who hate TNA but watch it every single week, they're the vocal minority. The people who watch this show watch it because they enjoy the show.
They watch the show out of a force of habit. If you put a test pattern on TV, it's going to get a decent rating. You tell me that people are enjoying watching a test pattern? No, the TV's on. They let the show on. They let the TV on after another show. They've gotten a habit of watching TNA no matter how bad it is. I'm telling you, these people are loyal. But who gives a fuck if you've got 20,000 loyal pay-per-view buyers and you've got almost 2 million viewers? It's horrible.
Okay, guys, we got about just over 1 minute to go here. So in 30 seconds, Crumbley, give me your reason why everyone should vote for you for King of the Board.
Everybody should vote for me because I represent joy. I represent joy in San Antonio.
I just like to say that everybody should vote for me because this has been the most exciting King of the Board in all of the years that King of the Board has taken place, and it has become because of all the controversy and fun and excitement that has surrounded my candidacy. And if you vote me in as King of the Board, I guarantee this will continue throughout all of 2009. So while the rest of the world sucks and sinks into a depression, the board will see a shiny golden age.
Okay, guys, well, we're almost about to lose a piece, so I want to thank you both for taking the time and coming out on the show and giving us your side of these stories. So thank you both very much. Thank you, Crumbley. Thank you, Bryan.
Thank you both, and thank you, Crumbley.
I'm the king of the board.
And as always, before we get the Bryan and Vinny show on the road, there's always some important notes, some site-related notes.
Sure.
That I've got to get into today.
Crucial bulletins.
A crucial bulletin, most notably about the King of the Board tournament. We're in the Sweet 16 now, or something like that.
How many did you start with?
About 100.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, the point is, tomorrow, Wednesday, everybody, is a big day. It's myself versus Crumbley, one of the biggest matches in the tournament.
That's right, you had your debate today.
Crumbley's gimmick is that he is a TNA nut hugger. A TNA ass fucker is what he is. And I, of course, am fighting for humanity. And so our big battle is tomorrow, and we did, in fact, have a debate today. They asked me if I would do a debate if I made it to the match here with Crumbley. I said, of course I'll do a debate. We did it on Neutral Ground, the radio show of Ed in San Antonio and Peach Machine. And if you go to the front page of Figure4Online.com right now, and you click on the Tuesday update, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is, in fact, a link to the debate. It is 30 minutes long. I was told about this. I was warned that Crumbley had never lost a debate. I didn't know what that meant.
Had he ever participated in a debate?
Apparently he's participated in a lot of them, and they say he's never lost.
Wow.
So it was like I was facing Hicks and Gracie here.
Apparently.
I don't know who determined that he'd never lost a debate or anything like that. But I went in there, and I debated Crumbley on the merits and the lack of merits of the TNA program. We talked Raw, Randy Orton, a number of other subjects as well. If you want to hear about more than just King of the Board, you should still listen to this interview, because we debated a number of different subjects. And suffice to say, if I do say so myself, I baked that fucker like a cake. It was a one-sided ass-whooping, even worse than the one-sided ass-whooping that I handed the Americool. So, win streak's over. Streak of winning debates ended. I'm on a new streak right now. I'm on a streak like MVP. I am now 2-0 in debates. Skewered the fucking Americool and skewered this motherfucker.
Now, what did you in the Americool debate?
He just called into the show randomly. We were doing a radio show.
I see.
And he happened to call in the day before his our contest, I believe, and he tried to ambush me on my own show.
And that went poorly.
Very poorly. Very poorly. So that poor fucker got axed, and now this guy as well. So my best wishes to Crumbley and your future endeavors, but tomorrow I'm going to lay a pounding upon you in the King of the Board tournament. And of course, everybody listening right now that would like to participate is welcome to go there and cast your vote. It will be in the Major Psychological Issues Forum on Wednesday, and I know there's at least one former WWE, WCW, and ECW wrestler who appears regularly on this show, whose name I probably should not mention, but you probably all know who it is already. And perhaps he'll talk about it on Thursday when he appears on the show. But he's already asked me to make sure to provide him to the link because he hates TNA so much that he's going to participate in the tournament and vote against Crumbley. So yes, everybody.
He hates TNA so much that he wants none of their fans to ever have anything good happen to them.
That's right. Lance Storm is endorsing me. Lance Storm is endorsing me. So cast your vote tomorrow. Support myself and Lance Storm, not Impact.
I can't argue with that.
Actually, you know what? There's a King of the Board theme. Have you heard this?
I don't know.
Where the fuck is it?
If we haven't played on the show, then I haven't.
The King of the Board theme. I gotta find this.
We'll just sit tight, Brian. You just look through all them drops.
This was created.
Perhaps it's under K.
This was created by the Cancer, who is a legitimate. He's a legitimate music producer.
Really?
Yeah.
We have so many talented listeners.
We really do.
What must they think of this show?
Well, they like it because they.
I guess they pay for it.
Make stuff like this. Don't mind that noise.
I hope that wasn't it.
No.
Butchering this man's work.
I'm typing in King and Theme, and so far I haven't seen it yet. This tells you how many posts we have on this stupid board right here.
How about KOTB?
Oh, that's actually probably what it is. Maybe if I just typed in theme. All right, I'm gonna try theme.
Theme.
I could just stop the show, but why bother?
Why start being professional now?
Oh, here we go. King of the Board 09 theme song, performed by The Cancer. Here we go, everybody. Let me load this baby doll up here. All right.
Excellent.
Of course, my computer has to go all wacky.
Excellent. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Get ready, everybody. Oh, fuck you, QuickTime.
Want to update?
All right, here we go.
I'm the king of the board. Goddamn travesty right now.
Don't fuck with me. Let's put a lot of work into this.
I should be king of the board.
No shit.
Rock on, he's a Don. Alvarez, they want him dead. Rabies is my homie, and he'll come and get your way of live. Neville, he's the devil, but I still think that he's cool. Vote the cancer, motherfucker. If you don't, then you's a fool. Fuck Kenny, I would kill him if I wasn't high. If he comes to Vegas, he still feel my biscuit grizzly dry. Vanilla. Here we go, Ed in San Antonio. Saw your Lucas thing, you.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
I blame you.
God damn it!
John Wayne, Sweet 16, a bust DJ with a dope campaign. Blitz, keep them pics and a bitch. You know what I mean? Love you, beach, but how the fuck did you beat out the bone machine? In the king of the ball. They didn't vote for me, Dave.
What were they thinking?
I'm just saying, though, like, if I had to pick a rookie of the year, it'd be first kid star Sinbad. The kid is like on to the board. He's young. He's got great facials. He's in the best shape of his life. I'm just saying. I ain't done, not at all. Itchy Bond, H.E. Wall, M-Rob, Crippler One. Jason, know we having fun. Teddy Long, get the bomb. This is an emergency. Sitting up, don't give up. Come and smoke a blunt with me. BDR, Prez, Doolies, we all star. Does anybody know where the fuck did Peggy go? As for socks, man, we on the board, rockin' till the last motherfucker gets dropped. It's the king of the board. No way I can get your name. Jimmy Lasers, I see you. Not everybody. Hi, lurkers. Still love y'all. Don't be afraid. Adam 4L, Omega, Dragon King, Carl, Adam and Mike, Hardcore Hogan. It's the king of the board, goddammit. L4W. It's your boy Cancer. Oh yeah. K4D, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. www.thecancerandrob.com.
Why didn't we end with that?
Why do we do anything else?
Was that awesome or what? And you didn't care about the king of the board.
I do now.
Christ, that was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't deserve that.
And then those assholes voted him out.
He's not in anymore?
No.
I was going to say I was going to go vote for him right now.
It should have been me and the Cancer in the finals, but
Fuck
these bastards voted him out.
It should be king of the... It needs to be the Cancer of the board tournament where it's all rigged. And it's a big tournament, but every time Cancer's in it, he just wins.
Well, maybe if I win, I'll rename it the Cancer Memorial King of the Board Tournament. Although he's not dead.
That cool in my life.
No shit.
No.
Thanks for the update. Cancer Vince has never been as cool as you.
No, ever.
I know you're shocked. Yeah, everybody. That was created by the Cancer on our board. A great man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. He may be coming to Vegas, too, so now you really need to get a ticket, Vinny.
Yes, I do.
I'm the king of the board.
I do want to plug very quickly, the King of the Board tournament is almost over. I'm sure some of you are delighted to hear that. Next Wednesday, will be the finals.
Really?
And it's 24 hours of voting is allowed. I expect to be in the finals. And so on Thursday's Bryan and Vinny show, we will know whether I am the new 2009 King of the Board or whether I'm a failure. One way or the other, we're going to know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am kind of looking forward a little bit because in order to get to the finals, I've got to...
I understand you have a very, very tough opponent in this round.
Not really. But I've got a well-known opponent in this round. Ed in San Antonio is my opponent on Saturday. So, for those of you that are fucking sick of this guy calling into every single show, for those of you that listen to this guy call in since IATA in the late 90s and are looking for your revenge, well, Now's your chance. Saturday, King of the Board Tournament, the Major Psychological Issues Forum. You can vote against Ed in San Antonio. Give me your vote and move me on one step closer to the finals. Lance Storm is also endorsing me in the Bryan Alvarez versus Ed in San Antonio battle. This was stated on today's Figure 4 Daily, in which he also talked about how if he could have voted twice, he would have voted Crumbley out twice. So he's a very passionate man as it regards TNA and TNA nut huggers like Crumbley. So this Saturday is your chance to vote, everybody. And I'd also like to add that tomorrow, and I'll be putting a link to this in the Friday news update on the front page of the website. So you can all go up to the front page of the website and check this out. On Friday, I will be on Ed in San Antonio's radio program doing a debate. Now, as many of you are aware, I debated Crumbley the other day, and Crumbley was kind of a pussy about it. He was like, can't we do this on neutral ground? Why do we have to do this on your show? I said, sure, we'll do it on Ed's show. Neutral ground. Not my show, not your show, it'll just be on Ed's show. Well, guess who's going into enemy territory on Friday? Me. Not only am I taking on this debate like a man, but I'm taking on this debate on Ed in San Antonio's own show. I know they've got a trap laid for me. I know they've got a lot of plans to try and ambush me. That is fine. I am the new undefeated king of debates. I skewered the Americool, that young virgin, and I fucked up Crumbley. 2 down, virgin. 1 to go. That's tomorrow. So,
if, on the other hand, you've enjoyed the tales and the photos and the audio shows based around the 2007 trip to Las Vegas, and the 2008 trip to Las Vegas, and the upcoming 2009 trip to Las Vegas, none of this would be possible, anyone, without the great man that is Ed in San Antonio.
Oh, you're gonna endorse Ed now.
It all. Ed sent me a PM saying, will you please endorse me? And I immediately thought, why would I not endorse Ed? Ed is the only person I have voted for or against in this entire shebang. I am very thoroughly endorsing Ed. He started to list reasons I should endorse him over you, and I thought, well, for one, Ed, you have never belittled me for your own amusement. Never.
Well, hold on a minute. All right, go on.
Between that?
No, hold on. Let me say one thing about that. We're in a debate here. I belittle you for everyone's amusement.
He hasn't done that either.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. I'm thinking about the people.
You're clarifying your point. Fair enough. But, yes, Ed has never belittled me for anyone's amusement, not his own, not yours, not the people, no one else. Ed respects me. He gives me the respect I deserve, and he respects the people. And he flies into Las Vegas if they're cool like me. So, yes.
He's done that one time.
Twice.
Oh.
He has flown me to Las Vegas twice.
Well, he ain't doing it this year. Just remember that.
We'll see about that.
Just remember that.
But the point being, I think it's safe to say that the annual Las Vegas trip, whether it's ever paid for again, has been a great positive for the Empire as a whole. Most notably, of course, the individuals who are lucky enough to attend. But even those who hear secondhand, hear the radio shows or enjoy the photos or whatever, I think it's been a boon to the Empire as a whole, and I think we all have Ed in San Antonio to thank for that. Vote Ed, everyone.
All right, so Vince is endorsing Ed here. That's fine. I will accept that. So you can fail once again. And I am friends with Ed. Ed is a good man, don't get me wrong. But I'm still going to kick his fat ass in this tournament here. No offense or anything, Ed. You are losing weight.
I'm the king of the board.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Drunkcast. I am your host, Ed in San Antonio, and just like the legendary San Antonians of the past, men like Davy Crockett, William Travis, Jim Bowie, I stand before an army of lurkers and Facebook friends led by one evil little midget named Bryan Alvarez. Am I afraid? Am I nervous? Oh, hell no, because tomorrow in the King of the Board tournament, Ed in San Antonio will do what no one in this board has been able to do, and that is I will rise above and I will defeat Bryan Alvarez. And I am also joined by...
Ed.
What's that?
I said you sound pretty confident over there, Ed. We're about to embark on a epic debate with the fat Mexican versus the midget Mexican, and you all know Bryan Alvarez and Ed in San Antonio. Unfortunately, we are yet to be joined by the midget Mexican, Bryan Alvarez. Ed, what do you think that's all about?
I don't know, man. I think maybe he thinks he's trying to play a little mind games. I think he thinks he's going to try and make us get nervous or something. But you know what? It ain't going to work, man, because I'm ready, Peach. I am ready. I am going to kick his little ass.
I can tell you're fired up, man. You are fired up. But just to be fair, this is going to be a clean, impartial debate, standard format. One person will answer, the other person will answer, possible follow-up questions. Now, did Mr. Alvarez, did he give you a specific time in which you'd be calling in, or is he just perhaps standing us up in an attempt to make us look bad or make you look bad?
Well, he said that he would do 20 to 30, and he wasn't sure what time to call, that he was going to be able to call. I think he's just got, I think it's just a fear in his veins that's keeping him from dialing the phone right now. He's afraid. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's in store for him here. He's having second thoughts. He knows that I know his innermost, dirtiest secrets, and he's afraid to come on the show. I see that we have somebody on the line here. So why don't you put him on?
Area code. Fucking go. Area code 425. You are on the Drunkcast.
Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the Drunkcast with Mr. Alvarez. We've been waiting for you for quite some time here. Been getting a lot of calls demanding that you show up, and it only took you 32 minutes. Are you ready, and are you prepared?
I am prepared for this debate.
Now, we discussed the rules earlier, but you weren't on the line, so you're just going to have to fly by the seat of your pants. Mr. San Antonio, are you...
Hold on, are these like complicated rules or something like that?
No, here's the rules. I ask you a question, you guys answer, and I decide when you need to shut the fuck up.
All right, well, that's easy now.
All right. So at first, we're just going to go ahead and open the forum and say, what is your stance? Why should people vote for you? And we will give the floor first to the visiting opponent, Mr. Alvarez. Please give us your campaign speech.
Well, I've given this speech before in other debates in which I've slaughtered my opponent, and the main reason everybody should vote for me for King of the Board is because, as I've said many times, there's been a King of the Board now for 3 years, and people have noted that I didn't do very well the first 2 years, and the reason for that is because I was unaware that I was even in the tournament. This year, I became aware of this. I decided I must win this tournament. I decided to campaign, and I think that you would be a liar to state that this has not been, by far, the most exciting year in the history of the King of the Board, and it is largely, if not wholly, a result of the campaign that I have, my campaign here. So anyway, the point is, as the King of the Board, I'm going to continue to bring prestige to the board, as I have done while campaigning. And as most people are aware, we've had a number of luminaries voting in the King of the Board this year, including Lance Storm. We've got tons and tons of lurkers. If you actually go into the Major Psychological Issues Forum, a number of those lurkers are now posting. I have brought prestige to this tournament. I have brought new visitors to the board. I have brought the board to new heights. And that is merely in my campaign. Once I win, I will go even further. So that is why I should be the King of the Board.
Okay, excellent, Bryan. Just to reiterate, I will be a partisan moderator here, so please do not feel that you will be hoisted with any shenanigans. Ed, it is your turn to give your campaign speech.
I deserve to be Bryan Alvarez because Bryan Alvarez does not deserve to be the King of the Board. If everyone will remember, the board was a great, happy place. And then one day, there were 2 message boards, and the place went to hell. And Bryan told the people on the board not to go to Dave's section of the board because he was ashamed of us. He didn't want us there. He thought we'd make him look bad to Dave, and Dave would look down on little Bryan, so he told us not to go there. And then Bryan, Mr. Sensitive, got a little upset one day, and he swore off the board and that he would never come back. And he proved himself to be a liar on that occasion when a week later he did come back running to the board when he noticed that we were doing fine without him. So, yes, Bryan Alvarez does not deserve to be the king. I deserve to be the king. I, Ed in San Antonio, I do a free show where I bring in great guests after great guests for free for everyone's entertainment. I go out of my own way to find out information to get people to go to Vegas, finding them hotel deals, finding them transportation deal, texting 25 people and letting them know where their plans are, what everything's going to be. I do that on my own, while Bryan Alvarez just walks around Vegas like he's the king and doesn't really care. I've done all that work. I'm the one that had the balls to shoot on Dave Meltzer on this website. While everyone kisses Dave's ass, I was talking about how he was riding in my coattails. I deserve to be the king of this board because I will make this board a great place. Love me or hate me, I always make people laugh. So vote for Ed in San Antonio. That's all I can say.
May I make a comment about what Ed just said?
That is not in the rules. I'm going to have to check the amendments. We will allow it.
All right. I would just like to say that I fully agree that as far as responsibility for the convention every year, Ed deserves a tremendous amount of commendation for putting that together every year. I will never take that away from him. I would like to take exception with one thing that he said, though, and that is my telling everybody that they were not allowed to go into Dave's section of the board. What actually happened was Dave wanted something done about the board because very shortly after the merger, there were people causing trouble and saying terrible things about people that were heading into the board for the first time. And so I thought we could either moderate the entire board or we could make a separate area that was moderated so that the people on the board would not have to worry about any sort of moderation and there would be an extra place for everybody else. And what I said was, if you are going to cause trouble, please don't bother going into Dave's section. And this ended up with people freaking out. And as noted, it achieved such a level that I had to leave the board for a week to let everything calm down. And as noted many times, once everything calmed down, I returned. And the board is now currently better than it has ever been.
Rebuttal, Ed.
Well, the person who actually calmed everyone down and brought the site together was actually me. I was the one who was playing both sides and doing everything I could to bring the board back, to allow Bryan to be able to come back. So I also deserve credit for the board being as great as it is.
Okay, excellent. We're moving right along here. Bryan, this question is for you. What is your selection process for picking co-hosts on the Wrestling Observer Live show?
My selection process for picking co-hosts?
Correct.
We don't really have much of a selection process. It started out with Adam and Mike asking if they could do a show, and it sort of went on from there. And the main selection criteria, to be honest, with those people that have shows on Blog Talk Radio, for example, is most of the shows that we take on, in fact, all of the shows that we take on, are in fact exclusive to the website. They are created on whatever software people use. Whether they take calls or not, it's pretty much all the ball's in their court as far as creating their show. And then the shows, of course, are exclusive to our website. So for a guy like Ed, for example, I know Kayfabe for Dummies was interested as well. These people that have their own show on Blog Talk Radio, I don't quite understand what the point would be bringing it onto our site, because with the setup that you've got now, I mean, it's free, you've got a whole bunch of listeners, and by bringing it onto the website, you would make it exclusive to the people that already are going to listen to your show anyway. And since I plug the shows in the daily update, I don't necessarily know if there's an added level of prestige for actually being a show, one of the exclusive shows for Figure4Online.com. We've got a lot of great shows, we've got a lot of great hosts. Sometimes, and I'm not saying anybody in particular here, but sometimes it feels like we have too many shows. And that's not a knock on anybody, it's just there's a lot of content. And a lot of people have asked to add shows to the site, and I guess the reality is I look at all the hosts and I feel that right now we've really got a host covering everything. We've got modern wrestling, we've got MMA, we've got pro wrestling, we've got the history of wrestling, we've sort of got everything. And I just don't know if there's really a need to add another show. And that's certainly nothing against Ed. That's nothing against Kayfabe for Dummies or any of the other people that do great shows. I think that you should continue doing shows on Blog Talk Radio and build a big audience there from people listening for free. And we'll continue to plug the shows in the radio show forum and the front page, and then everybody's happy.
Okay,
hold on.
Go ahead, Ed.
Okay, I got to respond. People, do you really want to vote for a person who can't even pay attention to the question being asked? The question was the selection process for Wrestling Observer Live. He's trying to defend himself against a question that he thought was coming. But
Wait, hold on. I was confused with the question. Ask the question again.
I said, what is your selection process for picking co-hosts on Wrestling Observer Live?
Oh! Well, now we've already got another question I've already answered for everybody.
That was coming up, so that's why I let you continue.
The selection process is basically I know that we've had a certain number of hosts that have done a very good job, and obviously Lance Storm, due to his, the fact that he's been a former ECW, WCW, and such a champion, is obviously at the top of the list. And if he cannot do that, then I start talking to other people that also have shows on our website, because in many ways the program itself is, I think most people are aware if you've ever heard the show, it's largely there to attempt to promote Wrestling Observer and Figure4Online.com. So I like to have hosts on there that do in fact host shows on the website, and that way we can plug the website, we can plug hosts that do other shows on our website. It's basically an advertising deal, so that's why we often use hosts that are in fact part of the website.
Okay, reasonable explanation. Ed, I will offer up a similar question to you. Why do you believe Bryan has not given you a chance to co-host Wrestling Observer Live, being that you've been a staple in the Wrestling Observer Live call-ins, as well as a key part to the website and the board?
I actually have no idea. In fact, it actually hurts my feelings that I have not been asked. I have been calling this show since Lou Thez was alive. That's about 9 years. I come on this show every week. I ask these great questions. And sometimes when there's a guest like Superstar Billy Graham on, you have Dave and Bryan basically kissing their ass and being real funny to them. When you have Ed who come on here, and I'll straight up ask Billy Graham, what the hell did he say that bullshit lie about Pat Patterson, and ask a real tough question. I've done my best to ask good questions. I get great responses from all of the guests who have answered them. They get a good kick out of it. They enjoy answering. I get great answers. I've been loyal to that show for every week since it's been on. I'm the one that's been there. I've carried that show, like I said on my drunken rant. I have good wrestling knowledge. In fact, I feel that I have more wrestling knowledge than, say, Mike Shepard-Vivi or some of the other people who have been on. And I think that I would make a fine co-host to the Wrestling Observer Live. I would not try and steal the show. I would not try and put myself over. I think I would do a good show, but I think, for some reason there's a glass ceiling in the internet wrestling community, and I have been unable to break that glass ceiling.
Well, perhaps you need to sleep with Bryan's girlfriend. That might turn the tide.
Now, I'll bet you that wouldn't turn the tide, but go ahead.
Bryan, this question
Yes.
is for you. How does it feel to have two of your best friends, both VINNY and Craig, endorse your opponent?
I was unaware that Craig endorsed my opponent.
Well, we're just assuming he has.
Oh,
He has.
Well, I can understand, and this is no disrespect to Ed, but sometimes I think that Vince is in fact endorsing Ed because he would endorse anybody who was not me in the King of the Board tournament. But I can respect Vince's support for Ed. As I noted on the show last night, he is welcome to support Ed if he wants to, and in fact that's fine because in the end, once again, Vince will end up a loser.
Now, Ed, to you, how does it feel to have Lance Storm side against you and openly say that he was going to vote for Bryan? And also, what would you have done differently to sway Lance Storm in your direction?
Well, it actually hurt me greatly that Lance would vote against me, considering that it was obvious that he had more fun doing our show than any of the shows he's ever done with Bryan. You can always tell that it seems like a burden for him, and he was actually laughing and having a good time. So I'm a little disappointed, and my feelings are hurt that Lance did not endorse me. But I will say this, Lance, if you are listening, think about it. Your hero of the board is the great Couture. Couture is in this tournament. If Couture faces Bryan, let's be honest, he's not going to win. But if Couture faces Ed in San Antonio, he's got a shot. He's got a chance, and I wouldn't mind losing to Couture, to be honest with you, because he is a great man. And remember, Lance, how many dailies have you done where you've taken calls, and how many times have you got Couture on the line? And it's not because he hasn't been trying to call, he has. But I had one shot, and on that one shot, I delivered. I delivered Couture right to you, Lance. Now you're friends. Now you're instant messaging friends. Now you're buddies because of not Bryan, but because of Ed in San Antonio. So, Lance, I implore you, make the right decision. for, not just for me, but for your friend Contreras, and vote Ed in San Antonio against Bryan Alvarez.
I would like to make one comment about that right there. When the Omega, I believe it was Omega versus Jimmy Lasers was the battle, and I began supporting Omega because I felt that Jimmy Lasers over the past year has been a horrible king and that he did not deserve to be voted for in this tournament. And a lot of people said the reason Bryan is voting for Omega is because he feels it will be easier to beat Omega than Jimmy Lasers. Now, Ed, of course, said the same thing. He said, if Ed beats me, Contreras will have an easier road to the finals. That is not true. I will say this right here. If Ed in San Antonio beats me, nobody is beating Ed winning this tournament here.
Ed?
Well, he might have a point. I mean, I am a very lovable person, and a lot of people will be voting for me.
All right, moving on down the questions here. Bryan, this is to you. Is booking Jeremy the video game guy your attempt at verbal trolling, or do you believe we actually have a genuine interest in his thoughts because it is apparent that you do not?
Well, I know nothing about video games, so of course I don't have any real interest in what he's talking about. But if you look at the number of people that respond to threads whenever Jeremy the video game guy is on the program, he's a very polarizing guest. There are a lot of people that love when Jeremy is on. There are a lot of people that hate when Jeremy is on. But the point is that everybody has an opinion about Jeremy when he's on. And I'm sure some people will say that they won't listen when he's on. But we, of course, have the download tallies and that sort of thing. And there's not a massive drop when Jeremy the video game guy is on. And, in fact, sometimes it's even up from usual. So I bring Jeremy on because Jeremy has information about video games, which I know nothing about. And he is the sort of guest that, for whatever reason, people tune in to hear. And people have also made comments before when I've had guests on the air and I've asked them questions, and people say, how does Bryan not know this answer? And the point of bringing on a guest is you ask them these questions so that you get answers. And Jeremy is one of those people. If I knew everything there was to know about video games, why the hell would I have a video game guy on the show? I don't know jack shit about any video game past Super Mario Brothers on the NES system. So, therefore, it is imperative that we have a video game guy on here and there to talk about the state of wrestling video games.
Okay, fair enough. Ed, do you believe Bryan is illegally, immorally, and purposefully manipulating voters through underhanded tactics?
Well, I'm torn. I'm the type of person who would think that Bryan wouldn't do such a thing, but I keep hearing these people making posts and comments on the board about his Facebook. And someone even brought up to me a theory that Bryan is actually copying out friends, his Facebook friends' accounts so they can come and vote. If you look at the bottom of the screen on the board, it will tell you who's on, who's hidden, and then there's a guest category. And what my understanding is the guest category has been having more people in it than normal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to believe Bryan would actually do that. In fact, I hope he's not, and if he is, Bryan, I'm going to ask you man to man. I have no Facebook account. I have no MySpace. All I have is my show. Let's keep it even. Let's keep it show versus show. Don't put anything in your Facebook. If you can beat me without putting a thing on your Facebook, I will come out here and say that I was wrong, and I will tell everyone on the board that they were wrong and that Bryan would never, ever cheat.
I have a couple of things to say here. First off, as far as what I'm able to do on the board, I think I am pretty much able to do everything that the other moderators are able to do, except I can also ban people. I think that's the only extra power that I have. And now that you've brought this up, I'm looking at the bottom of the board, and I have no fucking idea what that guest thing right there is. These are all questions you would have to ask Tony. And I can assure everybody listening here that I have no idea how to manipulate that. I know people have claimed that I have manipulated tallies in the voting. I have no fucking idea how to do that. As far as what the hell was that?
You're fine. We're on.
All right. And now, as far as the Facebook thing goes, I've said this from day one. The rules when we started were set, and I did not feel that I was doing anything wrong by posting on Facebook. People, of course, are sending mass PMs. People are sending text messages. People are using YouTube. I figured I can use Facebook. What's the big deal? Other people have used Facebook. So I do not agree with the idea of changing the rules in the middle of the tournament. And as I was facing Crumbley the other day, of course nobody mentions this on the thread, but I didn't even go on Facebook till about 1 o'clock Pacific, which is about 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And I was kicking Crumbley's ass before I went over to Facebook. And I thought, you know, I could win this without going on Facebook at all. I am so far ahead right now that I don't even need to bother with Facebook. I could actually win this contest. But then a part of me thought, that's going against what I've been preaching this whole time about changing the rules in mid-thing. So I used Facebook anyway, and I beat him by an even wider margin. But the point is, I am going to continue to use Facebook, and if the rules are set in stone for next year's tournament that say Facebook is not allowed, YouTube is not allowed, whatever, I will abide by any rules that are set at the beginning of the tournament, but I will not abide by any rules that are created in the middle of the tournament, just because some people are angry that I'm actually winning.
Okay, we are running low on time here. We're going to go to the lightning round. We're looking for some very brief answers here. Ed, we will start with you.
This is exciting.
How many twats have you fucked, Ed?
Way more than Bryan. I can almost guarantee you that. I'm pretty sure Bryan's only...
Answer.
Having been with Ed in Vegas, he is in fact correct.
Okay. Can you manipulate the taste of a man's cum through diet, Ed?
No. What the fuck are you asking that question for, goddammit? Fuck.
Bryan.
No.
Bryan, do you feel Ed is trying to buy your friendship?
No, I do not.
Ed, do you think Bryan is mocking your friendship?
No, I do not.
Who's
mocking?
Who's the hottest diva, Ed?
Is that for current or past?
Either.
Trish Stratus.
Bryan.
Oh, Christ. Lightning round. Kelly.
Okay, you are correct. Now, which show do you consider the weak link of the empire, Ed?
I would say Mike Coughlin. I would say there's no need to have a second MMA show when you have a show that can get all these fancy guests and have great interviews and great...
Over the last 2 weeks, Figure 4 Daily.
Okay. If you could ban one person from the forum, who would it be, Ed?
I would ban Ichiban.
Bryan.
Rovert.
Ed, what is your favorite Shawn Michaels match?
The Hell in a Cell versus The Undertaker.
Bryan.
I agree with Ed.
Ed, why is San Antonio better than Seattle?
Because we actually have a bunch of cool people here and not a bunch of losers that fucking all a bunch of grunge assholes.
Bryan.
Seattle is very beautiful in the summer due to all the rain in the winter.
Ed, whose beard was mightier, yours or Bryan's?
It's not even a competition. My beard was 10 times better, and for any picture I ever took, I never had to get a comb and comb it out so it would look even bigger like some people.
Bryan.
I'm afraid I have to say Ed's beard was much mightier than mine.
Okay. Ed, do you condone peeing in the sink?
No, I do not.
Bryan.
Yes, I do.
Correct answer. Okay, we are through the lightning round. That was very well done. I'm sorry I asked that Owen for my own amusement because I was peeing in the sink during the lightning round. Okay, anyway, final remarks.
Aren't you forgetting about the very first question, dumbass?
We answered that.
No, we didn't.
What are you doing? Okay, final. Okay, well, I wanted to ask you guys to do a shoot promo on Wade Keller, so we'll do two more. First, Bryan, what are you doing to help make the wrestling world / MMA world a better place?
What am I doing to make the wrestling world and the MMA world a better place?
Yes.
I am trying to do my best to provide a website that provides the most accurate information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. And, of course, the front page is free for everybody. There's, of course, premium content as well, but the front page is there for everybody that has an Internet connection, and we do our best to get the information out there in a timely manner. And instead of attempting to break the story first, we always attempt to just get the story right. Although we do break it first on occasion.
Ed, what are you doing to make the wrestling world a better place?
Well, as a member of Team Digity, I am a partnership with the Peach Machine in this diet and nutrition plan where we are taking the young wrestlers of the future and we are showing them a better way where they don't have to use steroids, that they can build their bodies with diet and proper nutrition to where they can have a safer and longer career away from steroids and other drugs that come from that. So I am trying to make it show that the fans in the future won't have to break down and cry when their heroes die like Eddie Guerrero or go crazy and kill their families. We are going to lead we are going to be the leaders to show the wrestlers that they don't need the steroids. Guys like Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, Evan Bourne, these guys are going to be around for years because of us. And that is going to be my gift to the wrestling community instead of just trying to make $10 a month from everybody.
All right, sounds good. Final attempt here to put yourself over. Bryan, Barry Wade Keller.
A shoot promo on Wade Keller? I can't even put a shoot promo on Wade Keller because I have no idea what the hell Wade Keller is even doing nowadays. I haven't heard Wade Keller's name in association with any major story in as long as I can remember. I don't even know if he's still putting out a newsletter. I don't even know if he's still got a website at this point. I have absolutely no idea what in the hell Wade Keller is doing, so I really can't even comment.
That was an excellent burial. Ed, Barry Wade Keller.
Well, I don't really even know who the hell Wade Keller is. All I know is if by somehow Bryan Alvarez is more of a bigger internet reporter than him, then he must really suck dick.
Wow.
All right. Bryan, we appreciate you coming on. I think this was a very fair debate. Any closing remarks?
I do appreciate you guys bringing me on the show, and although I stated that I expected an ambush, you guys did in fact do a very honorable job in running this debate, even though I've stepped into enemy territory. And I ask all my friends and fans to continue to vote for me in the King of the Board tournament. I believe I have brought a level of honesty and fair play to this tournament, despite what some others might say, and I'm going to keep the board a very special place in 2009 and ensure that everybody has loads and loads of fun!
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Alvarez, and we look forward to hearing all of your wonderful radio shows in the future.
That's right. Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Peach Machine.
You're welcome, bro.
FHM, motherfucker!
I'm the king of the board.
Let me tell everybody something. Let me tell you all the real deal. As most of you are aware, if you've been on this website or really any other website that has a message board, there's a lot of people that are full of shit on the internet.
That's
you
true.
don't even have to go on a message board. Just go anywhere where people congregate on the internet. You'll find that everybody on the internet is really handsome. They've all got a hot girlfriend. They're all really strong. They've all got a great body. They're everywhere on the internet. It's crazy. And as most of you are well aware, a lot of these people full of shit. I know it's hard to believe, but a lot of people on the internet full of shit. Well, you know who's not full of shit? Me. I am not full of shit. As well as my two pals in Team Real Deal, Rabies and the Cancer. Rabies is the real deal. I know a lot about Rabies that a lot of you on the internets know nothing about, but I can tell you that man is the real deal. Don't fuck with that guy. The Cancer talks all the time about his record company or whatever the case might be, the work he does producing records and that sort of thing, and some people would believe this man's full of shit. He is not. The King of the Board theme was created by the Cancer. That man is the real deal. Now, for those of you wondering why, of late, we've been talking about the 4HM as opposed to 3, there is, in fact, a fourth member, a final member of Team Real Deal.
Wow.
Vinny, it's not you.
Oh.
I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed when I introduce this final member, but this man is the real deal. And I will tell you why. As noted, a lot of people say a lot of shits on the internet, and this individual here has talked about how he has been a lover of many women. And some people find this to be a ridiculous statement on his part. They feel he must be lying. This man has, in turn, produced photographs of said women. Now, of course, people can say, well, you know, it's lots of people have their photograph taken with hot women. Perhaps he went to a strip club, or perhaps he went to some sort of get-together and found some hot women and took photos with him so he could post them on the board. Challenges were thrown out to this man. So this man delivered the first ever pornography in the history of the Figure 4 Empire. Klitz is now the new fourth member of Team Real Deal after providing, in fact, a screen cap of him humbling a young lass. What can I say?
Wow,
the man is the real deal.
I overlooked this somehow.
Yes, you missed this thread. It was amazing. Let me tell you. Now, as soon as I took one gander at this thread, and the fact that somebody had put their cock where their mouth was, I thought, my God, this man is real deal material. And Rabies and the Cancer agreed, and we have added clips to Team Real Deal. He is the fourth and final member. And I just wanted to make that announcement here on the program. All four men, of course, endorsing yours truly for the King of the Board. For those of you sick as hell about hearing about this fucking tournament, it ends today. By the time, actually everybody listens to this. This will be posted after midnight. Today is the final day of boarding. It is myself, Bryan Alvarez, against Alan 4L. A starry-eyed young lad who has made it to the finals on a campaign of, I don't know what, of positivity?
He's the
of
most
joy?
overly nice person in the world.
This is the ultimate heel versus face battle right here in the finals of the King of the Board tournament. And Alan Farrell has very little hope of winning here. There's a grassroots movement on the board to try and get him elected King of the Board, but it's not happening. The problem with this Alan Farrell here as your king is how can you run on a platform of positivity in regards to our board?
That's a great question.
This board will tear the smile off Alan's face. Everybody loves Alan. The smiley, Puro-loving,
Briscoe fan.
weightlifting, Briscoe lover, this little fucker. He loves everything. He loves everything. And he's a fine, happy, upstanding, young, early 20s young man.
That's all great for him.
All great for him.
It bodes poorly for his ability to lead the board.
Very, very poorly. There will be times of trouble. There will be times of strife. There will be times where there will be wars fought on the board. People will try to take the board down. You're going to fucking leave the board in the hands of Alan 4L? There's going to be a fucking great catastrophe, and his solution will be to upload some Japanese pro wrestling. That's not enough. This man cannot be the king of the board. For the sake of the board. I'll be tough. I'll give everybody the real fucking deal. That's why I should be the king. And today is your chance to vote. Your final chance to vote.
Or it was.
The Major Psychological Issues Forum on the board. Everybody go in there and state your case. It's me or Alan. This is the end. And the big coronation ceremony will take place on Thursday's show. So really, this is not the last you'll hear of it, but it's the last you will hear of me cutting promos and trying to get votes here. So Thursday we will have the coronation. The winner of the tournament will, in fact, if we can arrange it, be on this program. I don't know what time it is.
Hey, the odds are fairly good.
Well, they will be. If I win, I will be on this program.
Well,
and if Alan wins, I'm going to try and get him on this program.
I know you hate it when people make this generality in wrestling commentary, but at this point, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. Hey, well, what do you mean?
Oh, there's two of you, and you're one of them.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a 100% chance someone's going to be on, the winner's going to be on the show.
I see.
If I have to record early with Alan, I will. But if Alan wins this contest, all of you will be bored fucking stiff by him coming on here and marking out about Toshiaki Kawada. So if that's what you want on Thursday, you can fucking vote for Alan. Otherwise, you can vote for me. And on Thursday, I will start announcing members of my cabinet, in addition, of course, to Team Real Deal, who will become the new moderators of the board, taking over from the some of the prior moderators that we've had in the past. I believe that will be my first act as president. I got a lot of things I've got planned here on the King of the Board.
That's clear.
That's right, and it's going to be a time of fun and wackiness and brand new songs. I have got some brand new songs I'm going to be playing here on this program.
But only if you win?
Well, no, I'll play some here tonight. But if I win, we'll have even more new songs. So, in fact, let me play one here right now. A new song. You'll hear more of these when I am the new 2009 King of the Board. Terry! Seriously! Jesus!
Fine work.
Okay, enough of that. Jesus God. That's what you're in for when I'm king, everybody. That's right.
I can't believe I did not see that coming.
Alan will not bring you any of this entertainment.
Leaning back thinking, Taylor Dane. What lends itself to Taylor Dane? I thought they might try to slip the whoa drop in there, but no.
No.
Tell it to my ass.
No. More of this. More of this when I'm in charge, everybody. Now, I gotta say one more thing here. A long-time listener, Anchor, demanded in a number of emails and PMs that I state on the show why he should vote for me. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, Anchor.
Your vote may go elsewhere.
That is my final King of the Board speech right there. I don't give a fuck, Anchor. He's going to be very sad when he hears that, I'm sorry. But, Anchor, this is about the fucking King of the Board. This is about me and Alan. This is not about Anchor.
I'm the king of the board.
Well, I think I'm going to start out talking about this a little bit today before we get into the regular festivities here on the show. But I do need to speak a little bit about my victory.
Don't you mean gloat?
No, I'm actually not going to gloat, believe it or not. What I'm going to do, I've been thinking about this all day, because I knew I had to give a speech tonight.
Basking in it?
Well, no, I've just been thinking, because I knew I had to give a speech, you know? I mean, I won. So the victor gives a speech. If Alan would have won, he'd be on here he'd be talking about Puro. He'd be talking about some wacky Dragon Gate match right now. But I knew that I had to say something about my win, and I was thinking about this all day, what I could do. I could gloat. I could throw some kind of wacky party and open gifts. I could drink. And actually, I did drink a little during Impact. But I thought of all these different things that I could do, and in the end, I decided that what would be most fitting here would be to give everybody the real fucking deal.
That is the name of your unit, I hear.
That is the name of our
clique.
Our clique, 4HM, the real fucking deal. That's what I'm going to give everybody here tonight. So, with all the music and everything out of the way, I just want to talk very quickly about this year's King of the Board tournament and some misconceptions that people have had. I'm not going to sit here and say that the King of the Board was not very important to me, because it was. But I think that a lot of people misunderstand what was so important to me about the King of the Board. Now, when this whole thing started, there's been a King of the Board for the past 2 years now. And this is the third annual King of the Board. And apparently I was in the King of the Board the first 2 years. I knew nothing of this. I knew absolutely nothing of this. I didn't follow it. I knew that Jimmy Lasers had won. I didn't even know he won 2 years in a row until this one started. I knew he'd won, and that was it. So they put up the brackets for this year, and I looked at them, and I noticed I wasn't in it. And for whatever reason, I posted something that said, how the fuck am I not in the King of the Board tournament this year?
It's your board.
It's my board. And so Pegasus Kid, who I must give a shout-out to, I don't know what has happened to Peggy, but he did start this whole thing, and so I owe him a debt of gratitude. He started a series of qualifying matches, and he put me into it. and I ran away with my qualifying match. And I thought, how about that? So then Americool, I think I was facing Americool in the opening round, and this young chicken fucker got all cocky. He couldn't wait to face me in the first round. He was going to humble me and make me look like a fool. And so I ran a little campaign. I wrote some poems. And the day of the contest, I posted something on my Facebook. I thought nothing of it. I thought, other people have used Facebook. I've seen YouTube videos. I've seen other things off-site. Why can't I put this on my Facebook? And this created a scandal. People lost their minds, especially when I won. That's when I knew I needed to take this all the way. That's when I knew I'm going all the fucking way with this contest. I am going to the very end. I'm not going to change anything I'm doing here. I'm going to win this contest. Now, I've been accused of caring too much about this. People say, Bryan, this is your website. You should be working on shows, or you should be working on your newsletter, or you should be spending your time with things more important than the King of the Board. And people don't quite understand what I felt the point of the King of the Board was. Now, when you hear King of the Board, what does that mean, Vince?
A popularity contest?
But, I mean, what does King of the Board mean?
It means you are in charge of the board? You rule the board?
The answer is there is no good answer.
I see.
Does it mean you're the one with the most posts? Does it mean you're the funniest person?
There is no set criteria for determining said king.
Exactly. The King of the Board, everyone was trying to give different explanations of why someone deserved to be the King of the Board.
There is no Excalibur waiting to be pulled from a stone.
No. And so I thought, well, okay, if this is a King of the Board tournament, I am going to do everything I possibly can for the board. Now, people noted that there was a point last year where I left the board, and that is true. And I'm not going to go into the whole story here, but just suffice to say, I thought that I did what was best for the board. I really thought that my solution was a great compromise for everybody. I left the board as is for everybody, and I made another section for the new people. I thought this is a nice, friendly thing to do. And everybody had such a freak out that I thought, you know what, fuck you. And I left. But of course I was back in a week. Because even though I freak out and I yell at the board and I call people names and I yell at people, I do love the board. I actually love the board. And I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the board to new heights in this contest. And yes, it does sound kind of stupid for a grown man who runs a website to care about winning a popularity contest on his own website.
Among his own subscribers.
Among his own subscribers.
Frankly, just by being a member of this site, you essentially vote for Bryan.
But really, that's not even what it was about here. The reason I wanted to go all the way to the end was because the last 2 months of the King of the Board contest, seeing people freak out, having debates, having a legitimate record producer create a theme song for the King of the Board.
Still tremendous work.
Seeing all these people campaign, I've never had so much fun on the board as I did the past 2 months. And I did not want this to end. That is why I wanted to go to the end. If Alan would have beaten me yesterday, in some ways I wish Alan would have won. Because number one, it would have been a great story that I went all the way to the end, and everybody wanted me so badly to lose, and in the end, young Alan pulled out a victory.
Sure.
That would have been the best story of all. It didn't happen that way, but I would not have come on here and blown a gasket about it. Because the thing with this website and the board, and this is why I cared about King of the Board, is because the board is part of Figure4Online.com. And there are a lot of subscription websites here in the world. And Vince, you're probably a member of a number of them.
I don't know what you're implying.
Where you give people your credit card account, they charge you, you get access to some stuff, and that's it.
There's no further relationship.
There's no relationship whatsoever with the people that run the site, or really anybody else who's a part of the site. Now, to me, the board is a part of a community. It's a big part of the community. And yes, I yell at people, and I get mad at people.
Just like you do to your neighbors.
Sometimes I even ban people. But the point is, everybody on the board is part of a community, and this King of the Board contest, it was very important to me, because in the end, so many fucking people that subscribe to this website got involved. You can cry about how much time was spent on this show and other shows talking about this contest, but let me give you some stats. The final match with myself and Alan, and keep in mind that early on in this contest, there were maybe 100 votes total for entire contests. This final match between me and Alan, 727 votes.
Indeed.
I had 373 votes, Alan had 354.
Wow, I didn't know it was that close.
So in the end,
very close.
It was close the entire time. In
19
the end,
votes?
I beat him by 19 votes.
Out of 700 and some.
727 people participated. Let me give you some more stats here. The actual thread itself had 993 replies.
Good Lord.
Keep in mind this is over the course of about 24 hours. It had 21,623 views.
How many pages is that, by the way?
Let's see, this was 67 pages.
Good Lord.
24 hours. There were a lot of people. We learned a lot of things about a lot of people in this contest. We learned what kind of people were good sports. We learned what kind of people were crybabies. There were some people that got their panties in a twist.
We have good sports in our clientele?
We do. There are some people that had their panties in a twist, and there's no other way to explain it than that. And I mean twisted vigorously. Some people were very, very, very offended by things that happened in this contest. But the point is, a lot of people had a great time. And that is why I am so happy to have gone to the end of the King of the Board, because I felt like I was a major part of that. And in some ways, I do feel like because of all this, I deserve to be King of the Board. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, I know that I made a lot of campaign promises. I promised to get rid of some moderators. I promised to make some changes, and I am going to do that. I'm going to consider leaving Dan a moderator because I've been told he did a very good job. Anchor did a very good job for a long time, but Anchor also decided to abuse his power.
Uh-oh.
Anchor decided at one point early on in this contest to edit one of my posts without my permission.
That's a big no-no.
I discovered this later when somebody posted a link to something that I had supposedly written, and I had not written it. And later it came out that Anchor had done this. Young man, you abused your power. You are fired. Henceforth, as a moderator at Figure4Online.com. At some point down the road, I may reinstate you because in some ways you did a very good job, but I cannot have somebody as a moderator that abuse their power in that manner. I would also like to send out just a few thank yous here before we wrap this up. I want to thank Rick and Arab, if that's how you pronounce his name.
I always thought it was Reek and Arab.
Reek and Arab. However, he took over the reins when Pegasus Kid got RUNNOFT. He took over. He did a fantastic job. If we were not full, I would be willing to put this man in our crew because he is the real fucking deal.
And Team Real Deal.
I would like to...
That cannot be a five-man unit.
It really can't be. I would like to very much thank all of the individuals that I competed against in this contest. The Americool, for example, Cotrere, Macho Bullshit, I believe, Dave, Ed in San Antonio, and, of course, Alan Farrell in the finals. I really want to thank Alan. He was a very good sport. Most everybody here was a good sport. And really the only thing I have to say to conclude is that there is one source of great personal pride, like legitimate personal pride that I have about winning this year. You can say whatever you want about being a mark for a contest or whatever, but the one thing that I will say is, after 3 years, I beat the trolls at their own game.
Yeah.
That brings me a great deal of pride. So with that said, everybody, that is the last you will hear about the King of the Board tournament for quite some time.
11 months or so?
Probably 11 months. I have not made an official decision, but it is very likely that I will not be running for re-election. I will pass this contest on to the board members, so we don't have this kind of wacky conspiracy next year. If there's some sort of great outcry for me to run again, perhaps I will, but at this point I will not be running again. You guys can have your contest next year. Hopefully it will be as fun as this year, but I do feel that this is a year that people will probably be talking about until there is no more board, and that makes me very happy, for better or worse.
Break his back, make him humble, and then fuck his ass. I want to have a sex with him in Victor, and I want to say, yeah, I'd like to come have a good time, use my medicine, maybe we can have a little bit sex. I'll give you my medicine, I'll give you my beer, now I want to get a little bit massage, a little bit sex.
You know who needs to be given love advice on this show is the Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik would be a great love advice guy. But that drop was funny because you could just picture Led Zeppelin on stage with the Iron Sheik, letting him finish, and then moving on to the next chord.
Exactly.
Awesome.
We had a poll on the front page. Poll here. Let me look at it here very quickly. The poll is do you think that Monday night's Raw rehabbed Randy Orton? Very important question here.
Yes.
Let's look at the results. As of the time we're recording this update, the results are 223 votes, 52.6% say not all the way, but most of the way, but last week did some long-term damage. That's actually what I voted for. 119 people, 28.1%, said no, last week did too much damage.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but that is, in fact, in second place. And in third place, yes, he's as hot as he was, and last week will soon be a forgotten memory. 19.3%. I disagree with that one right there.
I did not vote in the poll, but I probably would have voted the same as you. This week was a positive step, but they are still not to where they were 2 weeks ago.
They did what they could, but
at least my thought was at least they acknowledged it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I
actually mentioned that in the debate today. In WWE, when they do something really stupid, they try to remedy it.
Yes.
In TNA, I'm sure they spent this entire week talking about what an awesome show last Thursday was.
When WWE does things stupid, they sit back and they watch and they go, that didn't quite play out on TV like I saw it in my head. Let's do some damage control here.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the answer there.
There's a whole Raw recap in a nutshell.
And really, the big problem still remains that I bought tickets for No Mercy, and now I have to see Shane McMahon and Randy Orton. Fuck you, WWE.
That is no bias.
I want my money back.
Well,
I could have seen Randy Orton versus 100 different good wrestlers. Instead, I have to see him against a guy. Think about this. Shane McMahon is doing this match 2 weeks after he couldn't go 30 seconds without blowing up.
Oh, the match is going to suck.
So I'm supposed to believe that in 2 weeks
posse runs in,
he's going to get in such phenomenal shape that he's going to have a great match with Randy Orton?
No.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening. So now I got to pay for this, and who the fuck would pay for that match?
No one.
No one.
No.
Not a single person.
I can kind of defend it in that we mentioned that they did Cena and JBL at the Rumble, and the reason being, you have the Royal Rumble there to sell pay-per-views, therefore you don't want to waste a good opponent for Cena on this show. Similarly, for
opponent? Well, hold on, explain that again?
No. You don't want to do, for example, Cena versus Orton at Royal Rumble, because people are always going to buy it for the Royal Rumble.
Do Orton versus Jack Swagger. Anybody. No. A wrestler, for Christ's sake.
Well,
I don't want to see him against Shane fucking McMahon with
Orton.
2 weeks of training.
They could do Randy Orton and Charlie Haas would be better.
Yes!
Okay.
Getting all hot and bothered now. Consequence Cream Jay Lethal did a promo about how they still supported the front line. Why? I have no idea. But they do. And then Lethal starts talking about Ted DiBiase, Virgil, and the Rockers. Cue laugh track. Yeah. TNA should have a laugh track. That would actually make the show significantly better.
There's a clip on YouTube where they added a laugh track to TNA.
They did! That's right!
And it's awesome. And you know what? It can work every week.
I gotta find that. What the hell is it called?
I forget. It was the episode where Kurt was in the tanning booth and lost his clothes. I remember that. But before the Consequences Creed Jay Lethal promo.
You just keep talking. I'm gonna find it.
They aired a recap of the rescue that these men tried to perform when, you recall last week, the Main Event Mafia, 3 of them beat up like 6 guys while Booker T was doing commentary. They replayed this, everyone. They wanted to make it clear that the baby faces, though having the numbers advantage and having one of their opponents doing commentary on a mic, still cannot put up a fight. So they showed this garbage, and I wrote down, not on purpose, not until going back over my notes later, rescue recrap. A Freudian slip if ever there was one. So, Lethal and Creed are cutting their promo, and they're not angry that they had the numbers advantage and still got beat up. They're angry at the machine guns for not fighting alongside them. 6 on 3 or whatever it was not enough. 8 on 3, that would have been a fair fight. That's what they would have needed. 8 on 3, including one guy doing commentary on a mic. So the fault here is not on themselves for sucking or their teammates who were in the ring for incompetence. No, it's on the machine guns for not tipping the scales out of balance enough. So that was retarded. And then, this is a little thing, but they were in the locker room.
What the hell was that called? The TNA sitcom.
They were in the locker room, And hanging from a locker in the background was a T-shirt that read, "I run with werewolves." What?
I don't know.
Well, why do you do that? Why is this T-shirt there? And if there's no good reason, then someone should have moved it. But it's TNA, so they did not do a second take. They just left the "I run with werewolves" T-shirt there. Any luck on that search?
I found something, TNA Impact the sitcom.
That sounds right. Oh!
Here we go.
It had to be a board member who made this.
Not quite as funny if you can't see the, Jeremy Borash is JD.
Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
There's Pyro here.
No matter what
And Kurt Angle.
nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart.
Oh, this Pyro's ghetto.
Don't say.
Here's Don West and Mike Tank in a high five! Woo! With Don West and Mike today. This song never gets old, by the way. Oh, here we go. Created by Vince Russo. God, what an idiot.
And his idiot friends.
And introducing the Low Rent Monsters. We've got Abyss. We've got the Voodoo Chick. Alright, here we go. Show's about to begin. TNA Impact is taped at Universal Studios Florida in front of a live studio audience.
Kurt! Go away! It's JB! So what?
He's in the tanning booth, everybody.
Kurt? What? Jim Cornette sent me. It's important.
You talk to Cornette, he knows where to find.
He's in his thong.
No, I don't think that's going to fly. Jim Cornette sent me here to get you to go see him.
Can't you see I'm busy? Hey, were you looking at my package? You were looking at my package. Don't look at your package. Well, listen, you tell Cornette there's only one star here at TNA. I'll get the heck out of here.
What a zinger.
You want me to tell Cornette that you're too busy training to go see him?
Would you stop it? You're damn right you tell him in a tanny bed. This is part of my maintenance program. You know how hard it is to be Kurt Angle?
It's better.
Tonight, they're calling it the revenge match. And
Oh, is that what they're calling it, huh? They're calling it the revenge match? The revenge match. How many chances is this guy gonna get, huh? I'm the champ. And the champ never asked for anybody's help. But tonight, somebody's got my back anyway. And that's James Storm. So, James, you want to say something about that? Say it right now. Yeah. That sounds good. I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Spanish!
I said after a match and you win, we're going out drinking.
Promotional consideration provided by the following. You tell me Insider. Free t-shirt with every visit. My computer got AIDS and PW Insider. Cool! Oh, we're back.
Where's my underwear? Are you wearing my underwear? Okay, I got you. Free baller, huh? Well, you know what? I'm going to find out who's messing with me, and I'm going to mess with them. Stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you seen my stuff? What? Oh, you never seen a guy...
You know what's the funniest thing about this whole thing?
Probably not. Don't mind my jokes.
The funniest thing about this whole thing is this was right around the time that I think it might have been either the whole Benoit thing with Nancy Grace, or it was right around the time that the WWE started doing some serious drug testing. And meanwhile, Angle is walking around the Impact Zone in nothing but a Speedo, fucking jacked to the gills. Bigger than you've ever seen him before. I thought, what an irony. These people are so fucking stupid. Now, it was right when the government was starting to crack down, when they were going after WWE and asking them for all this info. And meanwhile, on TNA, there's a guy just gizmoed out of his mind, running around in his fucking underwear on Impact. Then they had Lauren outside with the fans. And I don't know how to say this without saying what I'm going to say, but this explained everything. This explained everything.
It did.
This explained why there are why the Impact Zone is packed every week. This explained the people that watch this show in and out every week. I don't like to judge people, but I'm going to. I watch this show every week, and it drives me out of my fucking mind because nothing makes any sense, and there are massive logic holes as far as the eye can see. I hate this, and if this were not my job, I would never watch this television program again as long as I lived. These fans, God bless them, looked like... Well, it looked like they didn't notice a single logic hole in any show that TNA has ever put together. You could have sold these fans anything. You could do anything you wanted, and these fans would not know any better. Now, maybe they just got a bad batch of fans. Maybe they sent the cameras around and said, find the lowest common denominator here and film them for TV. Which in that case, the question is, why would you do that? Why would you put those people on TV? So, quite the cross-section of Americana here.
There was a guy who was missing more teeth than Granny and the Boogeyman put together. And he was jumping up and down with his mouth wide open, screaming, having a good old time. He could not have dressed himself. It's impossible. And I'm looking at the rest of this crew, and there was a man with a T-shirt that read, if idiots could fly, this place would be a fucking airport. And I thought, the ironic thing, sir, is that you thought that shirt was so funny, you paid money for it. You chose to buy that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Astounding. I cannot grasp these people actually exist in 2009.
And you wonder why nobody pays any money.
And then my next thing I wrote down was every advertiser just canceled.
Yes.
Because these people clearly have a combined $0 of disposable income. This is the dregs of humanity.
This was just incredible.
This is the people who wake up and every day there is no prison in their life. They count it as a good one. It's a success.
It just amazes me. How many times have we watched the UFC and they find just like the fucking hottest girls they can and put them on TV?
The hottest girls they can,
or a celebrity.
Or even if it's the douchebags, it's the douchebags who got dressed up.
Yeah.
Not TNA.
They found I don't know what they found.
They found the people who were on their way to their work as dirt farmers.
This was just amazing.
They found...
I don't know. I just don't know.
I regret living in the world with these people.
I just don't know.
I often said that joking about TNA fans and whoever buys their pay-per-views, because clearly they're not only in Orlando. These must be the 20-some thousand scattered around the country who buy these shows.
Now, I'm sure there's some people listening right now that are huge TNA fans that are offended.
I don't care.
Well, I'll say this. If you're not one of those people, great. But they still chose to show all those people. This was what they told me and Vinny and the other 1.6 million people. This is who they said their fans were. These were the people they chose to represent the fan base of TNA. So don't fucking get mad at me. Don't fucking get mad at me. You can get mad at TNA for creating this impression of who their fans are by showing these people on television. MIDI. M-I-D-I. Not the shitty poster.
Stayed on the road trying to make an honest living.
Oh, God.
While I was gone, every day at my house seemed to be Thanksgiving.
What?
A hope you know what I mean. I did it because I was the only one to keep the ball rolling. And when I had a little money, all eyes were glowing.
This is Kamala,
yes,
by the way.
Brand new cars and diamond rings. I bought you everything. I did the best that I could do with what I had. I tried not to talk about it. I tried so hard not to think about it. I guess I'm just having a bad day. Now tell me how you think I felt when I came home and found condoms hanging on my clothesline. How do you think I felt?
Trying them out.
She said that you ain't mine.
Are they recycling?
Damn, you ain't mine. Where did they come from? I want to know. Where did they come from? Oh well, I guess it didn't make a difference on a one-night stand. He was just passing through. He shouldn't think very much of you. I heard you calling out his name in the middle of the night. That's a true sign that something just wasn't right.
He's got her there.
No shit.
I went along with it all because of the kids. But something kept reminding me of what you did. Oh yeah.
Happy about it.
The money is gone. Your kids are grown. Oh, you don't have use for me anymore. You clean me out and then you hit the door. How do you think I felt? Just live on. Did I come back around again? Now tell me this. When you be able to take a stand, how do you think I felt? The money is gone and your kids are grown. You don't have use for me.
Why don't I have this kind of soul?
You clean me out and then you hit the door. How do you think I felt? Just live on, then I'll come back around again. Now tell me this, will you be able to take the stand? How do you think I felt?
Sad.
Tell me, how do you think I felt?
Kamala, everybody. The Ugandan giant. That's what that was right there. Swear to God, Kamala.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
That was the happiest singing of a sad song I've ever heard.
Kamala's got some soul. I gotta give the man credit. Let us open some presents right here.
We have a couple of cards first.
All right, let's hand me one of them. By the way, I this has nothing to do with anything, of course, but today I went to my jiu-jitsu class and we had a guest instructor, a black belt, and I rolled with him for a while, and of course I was on the bottom, and I tried to do a high guard, and you know what he did? He postured up. Anyway, let me read this card.
Wow, that's a scintillating tale.
All right. It's time for your dental checkup.
I guess it's not a gift.
Thanks, Vince.
Here, try that one.
Please call today for an appointment. Missed that one.
That is.
I know who this is from.
Yes. Well, his name is on the outside as a clue.
We don't want to use his shoot name. This is from the Wayne family. Not Bruce Wayne. They're going to kill me when they find out I just opened this today. Oh, it's a picture of young Nick.
Yeah, that's right.
Love, Buddy, Shauna, Nick, and Minnie, 2008. Look at that little bugger.
I got the same one, yes.
Wow, how about that?
That is adorable.
I'm going to put that right here next to the cheerleader.
That's lovely. All right, now passing a large tube.
All right. I'm afraid this better not be the Bob Sapp dildo.
If that's the Bob Sapp dildo, then he is in the wrong field.
It's from J.R. Shelby.
Although we do have a package from Japan.
We're going to have to make sure. Actually, you know what? We'll open that one. That'll be the last one we open today.
Okay.
That poor guy, that's from Cappy.
Yeah, he saw this like in November. Like, did you give him a gift for that?
Yeah, he asked me again today, and I said I will find out when I actually get the rest of this stuff out of my car. This has all been in my car for 2.5 months now, everybody.
Yeah, I hope there's no food in here.
So, let me...
If that's like a giant sausage, literally a giant sausage, we're in trouble.
No, it's not, but I can't get the fucking thing out. It appears to be it's something...
I'm guessing a poster. It's a large...
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. It's a poster for the wrestler.
Wow.
Look at that.
That is flippin' awesome, actually.
That is actually pretty cool. How about that?
Oh, look, the official movie kind is on both sides.
When this guy wins the Oscar, I'm going to autograph this myself and sell it on eBay.
I'm
just kidding, J.R. Shelby. I'm not going to do that.
That's a very cool gift.
Bring me Cappy's gift.
You have to check out this wrapping paper, too,
Get
by the
me
way.
you manga. Then we'll play a song, too, by the way. I don't know what this song is. It just, it says Billy Gunn's Skin Color. I'm not sure I trust it, so we'll see how long I can go there. What the hell is it? Vinny is a goober, it says. Vinny is a goober, it says. What? There's a tilde bang on the side. I hope this is from Cappy. It's got his real name here.
It's from Japan, I assume.
It is from Japan, and detailed description of contents. It reads, snacks.
Uh-oh.
Number of contained, 7. And pottery. Number of contained, 2.
I've never seen a package wrapped in wrapping paper and then, put through the postal service that way.
Now you can do anything.
It's in Mylar wrapping paper. There's hearts all over it. Very Christmassy.
It says here as well on the tape, B-A-D-O-O-M. Badoom. I guess that's what the Great Khali says. There's another one here that says half-breed.
Talking about you.
Satchel ass. That looks to be all of them.
I see.
The inner container has a bow on it.
Appears to be a giant styrofoam box with, indeed, a bow.
There's a smell to it as well, so...
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that means.
I hope it's not fish heads.
So do I. Cappy will be in some trouble if it's fish heads. See, now this is what you want to pay for, don't you? More of this. All right. Wow. Let me read the note, then I'll look through it. I was wondering why everything was cold. It's been in my car. Dear Bryan and Vinny.
In tiny letters.
He forgot to put that in.
That's true. Show it again.
It's written in later.
He wrote the whole thing in green, and then looked and said, I forgot Vinny, and added it in black ballpoint pen.
I hope the Christmas season is finding you well. I thought that my two favorite knuckleheads really should get some sweet Japanese goodness. I hope you guys enjoy these goodies. Do not share them with Brent, for the love of God! I picked the wackiest things I could find, including men's Pocky, named because it will increase your virility.
What?
Not because of men's Teo. I ask for no Christmas present from you guys, except to continue being funny and entertaining.
Sorry, we let you down.
I was going to say that's asking a lot. And maybe playing the Ian drop with Hello, I Love You every once in a while. That I can guarantee. But yeah, enjoy the goodies. They are tasty, I think. Please try something on the show. It would make me ever so glad. Love you, Cappy. P.S. Sorry about calling in drunk one time. P.P.S. Fuck Don West. And P.P.P.S. There is a drawing of a cock next to a happy face.
That's true.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think it means anything. He just felt like drawing a cock, and he drew the cock, and it made him happy.
All right, now, hold on.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
There are a number of gifts here. For example, this, I don't know what that is.
I see fire.
There's an angry jalapeno on the front of it.
An angry, toothless jalapeno.
There's also, for example, I don't know what that is either.
Okay, let me see that.
I believe those are animal crackers.
There's a pink hexagonal box with koalas on it. SaveTheKoala.com, Australian Koala Federation.
There's a bar here that says, and I quote, Crunky, Crunch Chocolate.
I think these are animal crackers. It's a good. Oh, here's a. Okay.
There's a keychain.
I recognize that sound. Just do it again.
There's a keychain with a video, a pixelated video game character on the front that says Family Stadium.
I think that may be from the original NES Pro Wrestling game.
There's another one here. Let's
these
play this
animal
one.
crackers, by the way, on the side, they are look like animal crackers, only they are stuffed with a fruit filling.
This one says Xevious. Japan is so fucking weird. Adam and Mike are rolling over in their graves right now.
Yeah.
Ah! Japanese Kit Kat!
Ooh.
I gotta try that one. All right, Cappy, I'm eating something here on the show. This better not be poison.
While you're eating, hand me the bag with the fire on. I'll see if I can figure out what that is. I deduced the mystery of the fruit-filled koala bear.
Uh-oh. How come is that supposed to be that color?
Yes.
It's white.
Right. I don't know. Eat it and see if you die. He's not from eating the stick.
Try it. Mmm. Yum.
It is white. What, cookies and cream?
Here's a bag of chips.
It's just white chocolate.
A bag of chips with a animal on it.
That's a shrimp.
A lobster. So anyway, out of all this food here, there's one more thing. What the hell's going on?
You hit a button.
Oh. There's one more thing that I'm not so sure about.
That's a tube.
It is a tube of Long Keep Gel. Wet and hard.
Keep that over there.
Unfortunately, the instructions are in Japanese.
Go in there to figure out what it's for or how to use it.
Long Keep Gel. Wet and hard. I'm not sure if I put that in my hair or my cock. What's the answer?
There's only one way to find out.
I'll start with my hair. Cappy. What the hell can be said about such a fine man?
Merry Christmas.
All right, give me another present.
All right.
Hand him over.
It's got something. Oh, it's got a. I'm going to read the tag on this one.
And by the way, for those of you that are actually in the Major Psychological Issues Forum looking for things to vote for, there's a topic here. In this topic, we talk about how great Bryan is. So feel free to continue filling that one up.
Merry Christmas, Bryan and Vinny. Your biggest German fans, Teddy Long and Low Key from The Board.
Oh, boy.
Wish you and everybody listening happy holidays.
See, now I know this one's trouble.
Special greetings to Ed, Oliver, Mike, Granny, Cancer, Big Dave, and the Kitty Fiddler Coughlin.
Yeah,
right up for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It is likely a DVD.
I already don't. I just know this one's trouble.
A DVD from Germany, which is a little distressing.
Yeah. It can't be good.
Oh, I'm wrong. It's a book.
Oh.
I don't know if that's better or worse, but can't get it open.
Boy. Teddy Long, I know you're a young man, which makes this even more appalling.
Mr. Right is out there. The Gay Man's Guide to Finding and Maintaining Love. By Dr. Kenneth D. George.
You know, who's this from, Teddy Long and who?
Teddy Long and Low Key.
Let me tell you how dumb these two dumb shits are. They drop shipped this from Amazon. They ordered it on Amazon and had it shipped to us. So when I actually opened the Amazon package, the book is gift wrapped, but the receipt was in there with the name of the book on it.
Tremendous.
So I was like, how about that?
Aren't you glad I opened it then?
So actually I can't even blame them. I can blame Amazon for being so damn stupid that they gift wrapped the book, but put the fucking name of the book on the receipt in the box. So anyway, the Gay Man's Guide to what?
Gay Man's Guide to Finding and Maintaining Love.
Wow.
I'm going to read through some of the chapter titles here.
So it's no easier for a gay man than a straight man, apparently.
Well,
Vince is actually looking through the book, everybody. Please tell me there are no illustrations.
Oh, no, it's all text.
Oh, good.
Chapter 7, Sexual Excitement.
That's okay. This is way too much.
Chapter 9, Man to Man.
Okay, Vince, it's getting out of control here.
All right, I'm done.
Actually, you might as well read all the chapters so somebody can make a hell of a song with you in it.
All right. Go down the list here. The chapter titles. Chapter 1, Love and Relationships. Chapter 2, Being Emotionally Intimate.
Oh, Christ.
Chapter 3, Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong. Chapter 4, Finding Mr. Right.
Chapter 6, Finding Mr. Wrong.
Chapter 5, Becoming a Male Couple.
Now, hold on a second. I know we've got some gay listeners here, so let me ask this question. Granny just came on the show, and she said that nice guys finish last. Girls like the bad boys, the troublemakers. Now, is this the same way with the gay man? Is the gay man looking for a nice guy or a bad guy? I need to know this answer. Well, I don't really need to know it, but you know what I mean. Go on.
Where were we? Okay. Chapter 6, Negotiating and Resolving Differences. There's a title, by the way. Negotiating and Resolving Differences. The title of a chapter that would never be in a straight man's book.
Negotiating.
Yes.
I could start making jokes here, but I don't want to offend anybody.
Chapter 7. Yeah, God forbid this show offend anyone.
I'll bet you one ass fuck. What does that mean, negotiating? Go on.
Chapter 7, Sexual Excitement.
Oh, jeez.
Chapter 8, Homophobia and Coming Out.
Oh.
Chapter 9, Man to Man.
Take that out of my house. I may as well put it there with the box of porn.
Sure. So someone may get curious someday.
Sure, you never know. Not me, but all right. Enough out of this. Let's get into this.
I'm going to use some of the negotiation part.
Oh.
So right here. Most men try to resolve these disagreements by, quote, fighting to win. That's my point.
No shit?
Yeah.
So we should fight to lose? What is it saying? See, this is why I could never be gay.
There's too much emotion involved.
Yeah. All right, let's seriously. Come on now.
Fighting to win, which you learn to do as boys.
Vince, you're having way too much fun with this book.
If we did not win, we were sissies or wimps.
Yeah?
As referring to the father, as king, he always won and made all the decisions and resolved conflicts within the family.
As I will do when I am king. All right, put that thing down.
Fine.
Jesus Christ. You want to take that thing home? You want to do a book report?
I got a copy.
Why don't you take that thing home and do... You got a copy. All right, let's go on here.
Impact?
I seriously want to... just do a book report instead of a tape review this week.
All right. I don't know if I can get that read in time, but I'll do that one of these weeks.
Sure you can. You're unemployed. What the hell else are you doing?
Enjoying life.
And that's not enjoyable, reading a book about gay sex?
Let's move on.
Are there any more presents over there?
There's actually 3 left.
Give me one more.
All right.
One more present here. I'm opening this one. Is this even a Christmas present?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Are there any that have definite Christmas wrapping on it?
No, the next 3 are just all boxes from Amazon.
What the fuck
so
is
maybe
this?
we are done. I don't know.
I don't even know. That's definitely a present.
All right.
God, this better not be another book on how to deal with your sexual issues or homosexuality. All right. Sorry, everybody. Merry Christmas, guys, from possibly your only subscriber in Cyprus.
That's entirely possible.
Undoubtedly true. Let me open it. Didn't even say who it was from, though. It just said our only subscriber in Cyprus.
Well, if we go there, it'll be the one guy, so we'll know him.
I'll have to look him up. Hold on. Does it have who it's from?
No, there's just a 2.
It doesn't say.
But he's in Cyprus.
He's definitely in Cyprus.
He's Cypresian. Cypriot.
Oh, how about that? The history of the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, there you go.
I actually don't even have this. And there are some great fucking matches on here. Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart. Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Rock and Steve Austin. Triple H and Jeff Hardy. Edge and Randy Orton. Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior. That Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior, by the way, was when I first, as a young man, started realizing this business was not on the level. Because I went to a house show and saw them do a match, And, of course, when you're young, you remember everything. So I saw them doing this match on a house show, and then I saw them do a match at SummerSlam, and it was the exact same match. And I went, wait a second.
Yes.
What the fuck's going on here?
There is actually a very early WWF video release, like Coliseum video release, in like 86, well, really than that, 87 or 88. And there were a pair of Hulk Hogan versus Harley Race street fights, basically. They're no holds barred or Texas Death, whatever they called them. But they are move for move the exact same match. And we were like 10 thinking, how could they be this dumb?
Yeah. All right. Give me the other two. I'm opening them now.
Well, one is clearly a present.
I don't like to wait.
This one, I believe, is a present.
All right. Well, I didn't order anything from Amazon, so... All right. Here we go.
The last one I was mistaken. It's not an Amazon package. Or if it is, it's just recycled. Oh, you know what? Okay. This has been opened.
It's been opened?
Yeah, this is a bunch of this. Oh, this is all the,
Oh, yeah.
It's a gift. It's not a Christmas gift, I don't think. Because I remember opening this in the car many months ago, where they have sat since. But it's a bunch of classic St. Louis wrestling DVDs. So
Amazon.com. What is this? What is this?
Yeah, all wrestling at the Chase, all that kind of good stuff. So, yes. Can I say who this is from?
Yes,
Have you already? Thank you from John J. Martin of Western Michigan.
J. Martin.
Some great stuff.
Amazon.com. There are two things here. In gift packs as well. Let me look at the card on this one. Oh, there's more from our only subscriber in Cyprus. Still no name. I bet I could find it out, though. All right, let's open this one here. Let's open this Mamma Jamma. It is a DVD. It is Kurt Angle, champion, 2-disc set.
From TNA Video.
Well, it is all TNA, but I will, Kurt Angle has had some awesome fucking matches in TNA.
He did have the Cage Match show.
Kurt Angle is regarded as the most accomplished wrestler in the last decade. Before all is said and done, he will likely be celebrated as the greatest pro wrestler of all time. With this Angle on this 2-disc set with over 7 hours of material. Bonus material includes documentary-style interviews, a look inside his private life.
Oh, my God.
Kurt's rise to stardom in the Olympics, never before seen video and photos, plus so much more. Wow. 12-time world champion, 2-time NCAA champion, Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Thank you very much, our only subscriber from Cyprus. And we've got one more here. Also from our only subscriber from Cyprus. Love the wrapping job Amazon does.
Gets the job done. It
awesome! UFC Ultimate Knockouts!
Now we're talking.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Violence and bloodshed.
It's all over. Ultimate Knockouts 5 offers some of the most spectacular knockouts in UFC history. Experience the devastating knockout power of UFC veterans Chuck the Iceman Liddell, Rich Franklin, and Gabriel Gonzaga. One name does not fit.
I remember that knockout. It was devastating.
All right. UFC's new legion of knockout artists such as Brendan Vera, Spencer Fisher, Chris Leben, and the UFC's newest and most feared striker in the sport today, Anderson the Spider Silva. Front row seat to witness firsthand what makes the UFC the most exciting sport in the world, where a single punch, kick, or knee can end a fight instantly and make or break a fighter's career. UFC Ultimate Knockouts 5. Awesome. Thank you very much to our only subscriber in Cyprus. Thanks very much to everybody that sent gifts this year. I think we have now opened them all. So if you sent a gift and we didn't open it, it looks like we probably didn't get it. And I greatly apologize for that. But thanks, everybody, even Ed, who I'm going to be battling on Saturday in the King of the Board tournament. Ed, you are still a fine man, and I appreciate the Christmas present. I will say that. But I am still going to whip your ass.
Conga line butt fuck.
There you go.
I like the applause. Yay, a conga line butt fuck, alright!
Now, unfortunately, we got to talk about TNA, which, God, I hate this show. I'm in such a good mood now, and I hate to have to ruin it with this horrible program.
Should we watch some WWE videos and talk about them?
WWE videos.
Or,
I don't want to have to drag this out any longer than I have to.
Someone suggested we play some more of their kids' games.
I don't even know where those are.
Oh.
WWE Universe?
It's just WWEKids.com.
There's a bunch of... I didn't even bid on this WWE Universe. Blogs, fan photos. Here's a photo of Maria with her tongue out. Well, that's quite the shot right there.
See? Already good stuff.
Wow. What I could do with...
I'd like to remind you all, I don't have a monitor in front of me. I have the mic thing in front of me.
Oh, come here and look at this.
All right.
Just come over here real quick. Look at that. Look at that right there.
Trying not to step on anything? Well.
That's just right, actually.
It is unmistakably what it is.
That is unmistakably a long-ass tongue.
And she seems proud of it. Perhaps she's giving the camera an eye that says, look, and I can do tricks with it, too.
WWE Kids.
Is this a segue?
Oh, there is a WWE Kids. How about that? Let's see. A lot of lucha masks. Here's a game. Click here for more games. Well, I don't even see this game. What the fuck is this? Play. All right, click here for more games.
Is the kids' website too complicated for you?
Nothing's loading. Way to go, WWE Kids. Randy Orton should be punished for picking on people. To be taught a lesson, he should...
Chavo!
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, Chavo Guerrero apparently has arrived.
I have no idea what that was right there. All right.
Anyway,
oh,
you were
something
saying...
just happened. Hold on. Okay, here's... Hold on, it's loading.
That's what it says.
Yeah. HBK's Sweet Chin Music by WWE Games. Let's play this one real quick. Level 1. There are heads, and you have to try to super kick them. Oh, I see. I shoot Chris Jericho's head with my foot. I'm shooting Ric Flair's head now. Oh, god damn it. He's a fast one. Shooting Jeff Hardy. Oh, game over. Score 84. Best score 84.
Yay.
Okay, I get to do it now. See, at the bottom, it's like Space Invaders.
I see.
But at the bottom, there's Shawn Michaels with his foot in the air, and your foot shoots through the air at everybody that comes at you. Okay, here we go. Hold on. The music's the best part.
Tell us who you shoot.
I'm shooting Batista. I got 30 points. Shooting Jericho. There's a title belt here. That was Ric Flair. I'm invincible. I don't know what that means, but I got some invincibility. Now I'm shooting Jeff Hardy, and I missed him 100 times.
You suck.
Batista. Uh-oh. It's just the same guys over and over. Jericho. I'm kicking ass.
Do you get a bonus with the title belt? Maybe that's what made you invincible.
I'm at level 2 now.
Oh.
There's more Jeff Hardys. And I just missed another one. And I just got hit again.
Damn it.
Everybody speeds up.
That's
Hold
cheating.
on. There's a title belt here. I don't know if I get it if I get points. Let me try and get it. 'Cause I shoot. Oh, that makes you invincible. This is the first video game I played since Super Mario Brothers. Level 2! I'm gonna keep going until I die. Here's Batista. Oops, I died.
Apparently you died.
234!
What an anticlimax that finish is.
234! All right, let me see if they have any trivia games. This is way more fun than the show.
This is much better than Impact.
More awesome superstar fun. We've got Batista Bomber, Balance the Big Show, Worm Slurping with Boogeyman, Chavo Guerrero Stop the Big Heads.
What?
Should we check that? Should we try that one?
Let's go through the list first.
Jeff Hardy in Space? Kofi Kingston's Bad Vibe Buster? Mr. Kennedy's Microphone Munchdown? Triple H's Whackin' Orton! I'm playing that one. Okay, here we go. Hold on, it's loading.
He's so happy.
This looks awesome. All right, there's these luchadors. Oh, it's Whack-A-Mole. It's literally Whack-A-Mole.
Yeah, what do you...
All right, here we go. I got the music too. Oh, shit. Oh, god damn it.
You have a sledgehammer?
Yeah, I do, but I can't hit anything. Oh, there you go. You hear that? Oh, god damn it. Get my ass kicked. How come I can't hit these little fuckers? God damn it!
I haven't heard that noise in a while, Brian.
Okay. This happens when you get old. Your hand-eye coordination starts to go. I have one. Oh, there we go.
You whacked an Orton.
God damn it. Is there like a time limit, or I just keep going forever?
It's a never-ending game.
God damn it. I can't win this game!
You lose. You were stuck in hell trying to whack Orton until you die.
The button and go like this. There we go. You're doing better. I figured that. I just gotta keep hammering and moving the hammer. I guess not. Did they play his old now?
I'm hoping they go through some time into the library.
Damn it.
If they play this one, then the Bow Down to the King one, then the old pre-overhead version.
Okay, hold on. I love the sound. This little Orton is... These are like aliens. They've got tiny bodies and giant heads. It's like I'm beating all those little fuckers from Roswell over and over again with a hammer.
What a gimmick that would be for
165!
Randy Orton.
Triple H is whacking Orton. All right. That's my fun. I want to know if there's a trivia game. Didn't someone say there was a trivia game?
You would think there might be.
Santino Morella's pizza face. The Undertaker's Ghost Patrol.
What?
WWE Kids. Our Holiday Snow Globe.
Right on schedule. Always up to date.
Oh, there's a MVP one too. Where what is this? Anti-Ego. I'll play one more. I don't even know what it is. All right.
That was it.
There are no explanations of how to play this game. Oh, stop the big heads. Oh, you just go by and you hit these heads with your mouse. And it just told me I am slow. You fucker. I'm doing my best here.
It should be in Spanish. I don't know what Spanish for slow is.
Score 3,703. How I did that in that 10 seconds, I have no idea. But I did, everybody.
You played Whack and Orton for 4 hours and got 160-something.
All right, enough of these hijinks. Okay. Stop that. All right.
That was fun.
That was fun while it lasted. Is there anybody on the board I can yell at? What made me mad on the board today? Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this up. I'm not actually mad at the person who posted this because he had a valid question, but I'm pissed off with everybody else who asks me when they know not to. Here are the rules. There is an RSS feed on the site. If it breaks, email Tony at tony.leader@gmail.com. Do not post it on the board. Now that I've announced this on the show, if you post it on the board, I will delete it and I may ban you. Tony is the only living person out of 7 billion people in the world. Tony Leader is the only living person that I know that can fix the RSS feed. Vinny, do you know how to fix the RSS feed?
What's an RSS feed?
I don't even know where the fuck the RSS feed is. The only human being on the planet that can fix the RSS feed is Tony. So if you go into, say, the MMA forum or the radio show forum and you post in a random thread, hey, the RSS feed is broken, you are wasting your time. Tony is not going through all of the threads to find out if the RSS feed is broken. You posting that is ensuring it is going to take longer to fix the RSS feed because you could have just sent him an email. If you send Tony Leader at tony.leader@gmail.com an email telling him the RSS feed is broken, he probably will have it fixed very quickly. If you post in the radio show forum, it could take days. Why? Because Tony is completely unaware that the RSS feed is broken. Because he's not reading posts on the fucking board. I get angry because I don't know how many times I've said this in these threads. People post that the RSS feed is broken, and I in a very friendly way I say, email Tony. He can fix it. Email Tony. He can fix it. I say this in the radio show forum. I say this in the suggestions forum. I say this in every fucking forum there is. Email Tony if the feed is broken. Yet people continuously post that the feed is broken. I ain't fucking around here. I know some of you are going to try and post this to troll me. Make my day. I will ban your ass, period. Goddamn RSS feed. Raw opened up with Edge coming out to tell the people how wrong they were because they thought he was a loser, and here he was the champion. And what's funny is, as noted, when Edge came out on the pay-per-view, everyone knew he was winning. So they were, in fact, right, not wrong. And he proceeded to call them big, fat, failure, turtles.
Right.
That's what he said.
Right.
Big, fat, failure, turtles.
I picture him spending the entire drive from Seattle to Spokane, all 4 or 5 hours, whatever it is, thinking of what to call the fans.
Yeah.
And he settled on big, fat, failure turtles.
After I lost my WWE Championship in the first Elimination Chamber, I could have packed it up. I could have gone home. I could have cried. I could have looked for sympathy. But that's something that all of you would have done. You're all like big, fat, failure turtles. Big, fat, failures. Big, fat, failures. Big, fat, failures. Failures.
Drunkenness.
These turtle boys don't come no slack. Big, fat, failures. Big, fat, failures. Big, fat, failures. Failures.
Awesome.
There's Contreras' song, everybody.
You found it.
I found it at the right time. Lance Storm, by the way, is now posting on the board for all of you that are looking for a reason to either try it out or come back.
I predict this goes 4 days.
Well, I don't know. He's posted a few times, and he's already a troll. He's already fucking with people. And I warned him. I said, Paul Lazenby was on the board for a while, and he finally just gave up. This board was just like, he found it to be infested, and so he left. And Lance said, I just go on and post stuff and don't read the replies. So he's got it figured out. This man has got it figured out.
Now, is he posting under his real name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his board name, Storm Evers, or whatever it is.
That's something we will know. Hey, that's Lance Storm.
That's Lance Storm, everybody.
He's not like Calgary Fan 01.
No, Storm Evers is in fact Lance Storm, and he is posting on the board, and he had to be shown how to post on the board.
That does not surprise me at all.
I don't think he's ever posted on a message board before, but already he has it figured out. So, big step up for Lance there. Before we get any further, I am not going to waste another moment on this show until I address a very important matter. I'm just gonna start here with a Raw rebound. In fact, as everybody is well aware, on SmackDown they always do the Raw rebound, and we're going to do something very similar on this program here. We're going to do a Raw rebound. This is a rebound from the Raw show on February 24th, the Bryan and VINNY show. So, without further ado, let's get the show on the road. We had a skit here with... Actually, I got to go back a little bit because this was prior to the match, actually. We had an escape from which mountain? Actually, The Rock appeared. Dwayne Johnson.
Let's start over.
Or as he said later, DJ. DJ showed up, and he invited the Raw fans to watch this Escape from Witch Mountain preview. I didn't watch it. I've actually already seen the preview in the theaters. And I am not, in fact, a father yet. But, Christ, that movie looks horrible. Horrible. God bless The Rock and all. But these kids' movies just aren't for me.
Well, that one in particular.
This one just, not my thing.
There are many other kids' movies.
And I just recorded a fucking Roswell thing on my DVR. That should tell you something.
So you do like Aliens?
I am interested in that sort of thing, but I'm not seeing this movie.
No.
Now, I got to bring up something else. I know that I was not a father or a husband or anything of that nature.
You're about to make an announcement.
I am, in fact, going to have a baby. I don't know how it happened. It's all nutty. But, anyway. What I was going to say was, if I were, for example, a husband, Lance actually mentioned this today. He said, now, am I missing something?
Apparently.
Am I missing something here?
A great majority of the planet heard that announcement and took you seriously.
You know what, I'm going to play that part just one more time. Hold on a second. Let me just go back just a little bit here. Let me play this one more time. Mountain preview. I didn't watch it. I've actually already seen the preview in the theaters. And I am not, in fact, a father yet. But, Christ, that movie looks horrible. Horrible. God bless The Rock and all. But these kids' movies just aren't for me.
Well, that one in particular.
This one just, not my thing.
There are many other kids' movies.
And I just recorded a fucking Roswell thing on my DVR. That should tell you something.
So you do like Aliens?
I am interested in that sort of thing, but I'm not seeing this movie.
No.
Now, I got to bring up something else. I know that I was not a father or a husband or anything of that nature.
You're about to make an announcement.
I am, in fact, going to have a baby. I don't know how it happened. It's all nutty. But, anyway. What I was going to say was, again,
okay.
Am I missing something?
You were laughing as you said it. Then you claimed you did not know how it happened. And then you said it was nutty.
I noted that I was going to have a baby.
Yes.
I realize that I rant and rave a lot on this show, and some of you think that I may, in fact, have a vagina, but that's not true.
Not literally true.
I do not have female reproductive organs, nor a uterus.
No.
Nor ovaries.
None of these.
I don't think.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure. I shouldn't even say those things nowadays, because now another rumor's going to be started. All I know is that, to me, painfully obvious bad joke has now become reality. But it is not the reality of people thinking that I am going to have a baby. I have now gotten, I cannot even tell you the number of emails and PMs from people congratulating me on becoming a father. These people are not joking.
No.
No, that's the best part. My mother.
No.
My mother today asked me. She said, I would think you would tell me first. I said, you would think?
Got to be kidding me.
You would think? My mother at least does not listen to the show.
How did she hear?
The board.
I see. I didn't realize your mom was on the board.
Name the baby threads. There's this, that, and the other thing. I went as far as to go onto the board after people started wishing me very nice things. And, hey, let me stop this right here and just say, I'm not actually mad at anybody, and in fact, I'm quite flattered at all the nice wishes that people gave here on the board and elsewhere. People wished me well and said, good luck on becoming a father. This is great news. Congratulations. I've never had more people offer congratulations to me than I did in the last 2 days. I went on the board, and I said, I want to thank you all for the congratulations. What did I even write? Something like, I am, in fact, pregnant. Or something of that nature. I went on my Facebook, and when it has your status, I wrote, Bryan is reportedly pregnant. I tried to make this as big a joke as possible. In fact, the first day I was like, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to take a picture of me lifting up my shirt, showing my belly, and then in a couple of weeks, I'll put a shirt underneath there, and then in a few more weeks, I'll put a pillow under there. I'll go all the way. I'll get a bra and I'll stuff it and I'll say, do my boobs look big? I had all these ideas I was going to do for my pregnancy. But unfortunately, good friends were wishing me congratulations. Good friends. I have no idea how this became this.
I don't either.
I didn't even listen. I swear to God to you, I did not listen back to the show until just now when you all listened with me. Mm-hmm. That was the first time that I actually listened back to hear what spawned all this. I'm even more baffled.
You know the most amazing thing about this, but beyond the fact that people would think that you would just be pregnant like that, that you would announce that your pregnancy, we would talk about it for 4 seconds, yes, and then move on with the Raw report.
Yes. I don't know. I do want to thank everybody for congratulating me on I don't know what they were congratulating me on. Getting pregnant? Getting someone pregnant?
Maybe just getting any kind of sexual action involved.
Becoming a father? Fucking? I don't know. Whatever you were congratulating me about, thank you very much. I am not, however, about to have a child. I did not impregnate anybody. I will have buggers at some point. It is not occurring now. But thank you, everybody. I even remembered what I had said. And I was playing it back in my mind. And I was like, this is so obviously a joke. And then when I heard it, it was even more obviously a joke. I have no idea how this became such a big deal. But as soon as my mom asked me this, I knew that I had to start today's show telling everybody the truth. I don't want to carry this on any longer because it's taking on a life of its own and is snowballing. So, that's the truth, everybody. I am not going to have a child. A baby is not growing in my womb, nor is a baby growing in anybody else's womb.
With your semen.
With my seed. When the day comes, when buggers are on the way, I assure you it will be a bigger deal than a throwaway comment in the fucking Raw report.
In the middle of the Raw report.
In the middle of the Raw report.
That's the best part. We did not start with it. We did not close with it. We said, oh, by the way, you spawned. And then moved on. And people took this seriously.
There were even people going like, boy, Bryan was in a great mood on the Observer show because he's becoming a dad. What? I don't know. As usual, I'm here on the board as I start this show. I'm in the we've got a thread here about there's a couple people defending TNA, and by a couple I mean like 2, maybe 3. And this thread's just gone on for page after page after page after page after page, and these TNA defenders are such fucking idiots. Like this example right here, there's a big argument about the game. I was talking about the game. And people are like, well, you know, they sold 400,000 to 500,000 copies of this game, so the company's a success. Really? So I said, okay, well, you know, we had a lot of people call into our show that worked at video game stores, and they all told us that people were bringing these games back. They were returning these games. So, of course, one of the TNA defenders is like, well, you know, at fucking video game stores now, you can't just return the game. They weren't returning the game, they were trading the game in. And that is better. How?
A poor defense, this.
This dipshit is like, you can't buy a game, play it, and then take it back and get your money back. They don't do that. So people are trading the game in. That makes your argument even dumber. They can't take it back. That's why they're trading it in, for Christ's sake. I'm amazed by this people defending TNA.
Well,
it's like,
Bryan, it's like you said last Thursday, this explains everything.
Well, here's what I understand. Maybe it's just me. We have a lot of bad Bryan and Vinny shows.
That's true.
I never deny it.
No.
It's not like I have a bad show and I try to claim it was in fact good.
No, in fact, usually we bury them deep beneath the earth. People say this wasn't that bad or something like that.
I don't get why you so vehemently defend something that is not defendable.
Well, I can't. I don't know, Bryan. I'm not on the same wavelength as people. I don't understand how they think. I can't explain their actions.
It is okay to like some things about TNA. There are things that I like about TNA. Every now and then they have some really good matches. I saw Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle have a great match a couple of months back. They had a pay-per-view with 2. They had that, and then they had the Alex Shelley-Chris Sabin match. 2 4-star plus matches on one pay-per-view. That was a great fucking show. There are things to like about TNA.
Did you see the animated GIF of Velvet Sky from the last show?
That, in fact, was something to like about TNA.
Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. That was awesome. I don't understand why it's such a grave offense to not like everything. To point out that 2 million viewers and you only do 17,000 buys is bad.
Right.
Why is it bad to point that out? Why am I an asshole for pointing out that if you have 2 million people watching your show and only 17,000 care about buying your pay-per-view, you're doing a shitty job? Why am I an asshole for saying this? I'm not, is the answer. I am trying to tell the truth here. Like I said, if you want to talk about the good things about TNA, fine. I do. I talk about what's enjoyable about TNA. But I'm not going to sit here and claim that the stuff that's not good is actually good. Because then you're just lying. You're a fool. You're lying to yourself. I think a lot of these TNA nut huggers lie to themselves on a daily basis, would be my guess. I got a lot of things I want to yell about and get angry about on today's show.
Sounds that way.
This is my therapy. This is how I live a normal life. I come on this show and I scream and I yell and I go a little bit nutty. And then I feel better afterwards.
Remember When Crash Holly and the Headbangers did that was the best moment ever. Crash Holly versus the Headbangers at the Fun Forest.
Yeah.
I believe that skit is on the Hardcore title DVD, which makes it almost worth purchasing by itself.
There's a Hardcore DVD?
There may have been a VHS. I remember there was a History of the Hardcore Championship deal.
No.
It was like 10 years ago. It may not be available anymore.
Where's Google?
Try to go to Amazon.
History of the fucking...
But like I say, if it has the Headbangers ambushing Crash Holly at the Fun Forest, where they find him wearing street clothes and his belt over them...
Hold on a second.
All right.
You've got to be kidding me.
You found it?
WWE Hardcore. Well, it was 2000.
Oh, there you go.
It is out on DVD. Number of discs, 1. No shit. What have we got here?
Match listing?
I got to read the editorial review. This is from Dave McCoy. Sometime in the late 90s, this should be a great history lesson, by the way. Sometime in the late 90s, the WWE was losing fans to more graphically violent and extreme wrestling companies. Yeah, WWE was losing fans to ECW. For those of you that have forgotten that period of history. Fans, it seemed, preferred seeing guys beat the hell out of each other legally, and that was italicized, by the way, with foreign objects. Never above pandering to their fans, the WWF finally created... Who wrote this?
Dave McCoy.
Never above... Oh, never above. I thought it said never about. Never above pandering to their fans, WWE finally created their Hardcore division and a Hardcore Championship to be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no less. This awkwardly produced hour-long compilation tries to give historical perspective to the mutant, controversial wing of pro wrestling while highlighting some of the more famous matches that took place over the past couple of years. You could argue that the strength of the WWF over the years has been the writing, the ongoing soap operas, and that hardcore matches simply opt for easy sensationalism. But that's another essay.
You're not impressed.
If you want to see men, and in one instance, women, beat each other with broomsticks, pipes, beer mugs, and boxes of tampons, or choke one another with garden hoses, this is the tape for you. The appeal of this stuff is it usually ends up outside the ring. For example, the funniest match has Al Snow battling the Big Boss Man in a bar across the street from the arena. Talk about barroom brawls. As one wrestler says, he really wrote that. As one wrestler says, hardcore is like watching a car crash. You don't want to look, but once you do, you can't look away. That is the editorial review. God, I hope that guy didn't do the review for my book. I'm going to have to go check now. Let me look at the match listing. By a customer, 3 stars out of 5. We've got Ken Shamrock versus Mankind. This match from Raw is somewhat slow and not very hardcore. Glad it's on the disc then.
It was awkwardly produced.
Much of the DVD is WWE superstars recalling their favorite hardcore memories. Match 2, Ivory versus Tori. The match is from Raw. Ivory wins after she burns Tori. What?
I don't know.
Match 3, Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow. This is from St. Valentine's Massacre 1999. Goes into the Mississippi River. Well, that's a win.
I actually do remember that one.
Hardcore Battle Royal at Backlash 2000, featuring Perry Saturn, Jeff and Matt Hardy, Hardcore Holly, Taz, and Crash Holly. Doesn't say. Oh, the street fight from the Rumble is featured. It is the best feature on the tape. No shit.
The Cactus Jack Triple H match?
Yeah.
That was great.
From Madison Square Garden.
That was fucking great.
Match 5, Shane McMahon versus Steve Blackman.
No buys.
Decent match, it says. Ends with a bang as McMahon falls 50 feet backwards off the Titantron. Wow. Good match because of the fall. There are 20 extra matches. The top 3 are Rhino versus Raven, Kane versus Big Show versus Raven, and Undertaker versus Raven. So, Raven was the customer, I would presume here.
I was going to say.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. What is this?
Just remember, Christmas 2009 is only 10 months away.
Oh, and then here's somebody who's burying some of the other reviews, knowing Rhino isn't even on the tape. Well, that's because it's a DVD extra, you dipshit. Let me see if I just got to check one thing before we move on. I got to see if Dave McCoy did the review for Death of WCW, because that would make me feel really bad or really good, depending on how you look at it. Who did our editorial review? Oh, the editorial reviews are by the Wrestling Observer Newsletter, E-Pinions, and the New York Daily News. We did get one good one there, but no Dave McCoy.
Hello? I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello? I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello? I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello? I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello? 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 Hello?
And we've got Double G here on the line. Granny, what's going on?
Same as everything.
Same as everything? What's that mean?
I don't know. Same as always, I guess.
Have you been drinking?
No, but I do have a bottle of wine, but I decided I better not open it.
Granny, you threatened last time you were gonna drink a beer before you did the show.
Well, I could have had a glass of wine, but I decided not to.
Yeah, well, it's right before bed. You don't want to get drowsy or anything.
I never know what I'll do when I'm drinking.
Me neither.
Well, tonight I have, I told you Wednesday that some people were asking questions on the internet.
That's right. I couldn't find them, but you told me that you'd found a thread of Ask Granny questions, and so you were going to jump into the mailbag. And by the way, I just want to say, Granny, that you are one of our best guests because you prepare in advance. You were all ready to go when we called you.
Unlike either host?
Yeah.
Not always, though.
Not all. Well, that's true. That's true. All right, what do you got?
Well, my first one is this guy wants to know how you can have an affair without your wife finding out. And then he says, but I'm happily married. And I have a question for him. If he's happily married, why is he even thinking of having an affair?
That's a good question, Granny.
Well, maybe he plans to be unhappily married at some point.
I won't tell his name because his wife might be.
That's probably for the best.
That's true, Granny. Good idea. But what's your advice? How do you successfully cheat?
I don't even know. I don't agree on cheating, so I wouldn't even have any suggestions on how to do it.
You wouldn't know where to start, would you?
All I say is don't do it.
All right. Well, that's good advice, Granny. The answer, young man, is don't.
Yeah. And,
all right.
Okay. And the second one is it better to meet people in the grocery store or the bar?
Isn't it amazing all our readers' questions are about relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend a grocery store. At least he'll know she knows how to cook. That's
wow.
my answer for that one.
That's not the answer I was thinking, but it's a good an answer as any. I figure if you meet him in the bar, it's not a guarantee they'll look like that the next day.
and they probably not cook for sure.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Another one was advice on dating. Now, that's not one question asked me, but I would just say just go out and have fun and don't spend the whole evening wondering whose apartment you're going to spend the night at.
That's right. You should just go out and just think about having a fun time with some companionship.
That's right.
Yeah. Good advice, Granny.
And this one's from Amigo.
That's by the way, that's 3 relationship questions we've gotten so far.
Oh, here's another one.
What a shocker on our board.
Yeah, he says, I'm romantic, and he wants to know how to meet somebody.
Well, if he's romantic and he's asking this question, then he needs to work on his romanticism a little bit.
Well, the whole problem there is he sounds like a real nice guy, and women nowadays, they don't go for the nice guys.
I'll say.
Huh?
Nothing, go ahead.
Nice
then
guys.
You ought to know that.
Nice guys finish last, you say, Granny.
That's right.
That's why I play heel on the board.
Well, let's see, what's the other one? Oh, there's other questions about they say, who killed Kennedy?
That's a tough one, Granny.
If I knew who killed Kennedy.
Well, do you know?
No, but I would say if it was anybody, it would have been Johnson because he wanted to be president.
So even Granny's looking at conspiracy here.
This is one I had not heard before.
Well, no, I've heard this one.
Really?
Yeah, this is in fact one of the mini theories.
You do pay more attention to conspiracy theories than I do.
Well, that Johnson had a hand in it, not necessarily that he pulled the trigger.
Well, no.
Well, another thing too, it says was Oswald a patsy, and that's very possible too because Ruby came in and shot him before he even had a chance to say anything. You know,
yeah.
So there's a chance there that they were just trying to get rid of him.
Then they took out Ruby.
Yeah. No, Ruby shot.
Huh?
Oswald.
Ruby shot Oswald, and somebody else shot Ruby, right?
Yeah, Ruby got shot too.
Oh, I can't remember that.
It was a long time ago.
It was before I was birthed.
Oh, it's before you were birthed, huh?
Yeah, I may have my facts wrong.
Okay, and then another one asked me what I thought of WrestleMania, and my answer to that is I never watch it.
Not once?
Granny's never seen a WrestleMania.
Even when they came to Seattle?
No, didn't you see it with Trump last year, Granny?
Oh, yeah. Was that WrestleMania?
That was
WrestleMania.
You have seen a WrestleMania.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one, huh?
It's probably the only one I've ever watched, but that was great.
Did you just come over for the main event?
Yeah, believe it or not, Tony invited me.
I know. Everybody knew how much you wanted to see Trump and McMahon and someone getting their head shaved. That Tony actually bought the pay-per-view for you to come over. A fine man, that Tony.
Yeah, I sure did appreciate that, too.
It was very nice of him.
Yeah. Another one was, do I agree with Bill Watts? Who's Bill Watts?
Oh,
a wrestling personality.
Yeah, a wrestling personality. Granny.
They were trying to be funny.
Yeah. Just say yes and move on.
Oh, okay. And then I think the last one was something about income tax. If I think that the rich people should pay more than the poor. I think some of the rich people work very hard all their life to save their money, so I don't think they should have to pay more than others. But like some people that inherit a lot of money, they should maybe cough up a few bucks.
Sure. Now, what about like a straight percentage? So you'd pay more, but you're still paying the same percentage as someone in a lower income bracket.
No, you lost me there.
All right.
It was a lot of math.
There was a lot of talking and thinking there that I don't usually do. But all right, Granny. Well, maybe we'll put an Ask Granny thread next week and get some more exciting questions for you.
Well, what I'd like to know is if they want me to mention their name.
Well, perhaps they can say you can mention my name if they want you to mention their name.
Oh, okay. And,
I'm pretty sure people would like you to mention their name unless they're asking about how to cheat on their wife while happily married.
I guess that's about all I had. Oh, I had something else.
Okay.
I have my idea of women nowadays.
Oh.
I think women nowadays are I feel sorry for the men because the women are the ones that are aggressive ones. And no wonder some of the men need to use Viagra because it must be really stressful for them, you know, for the woman to be so aggressive. And back in my day, if anybody ever heard of a guy using Viagra, he'd have got laughed out of town.
Especially since it hadn't been invented yet. That'd be quite the task.
Still, though, I mean, a man was a man, and, you know.
Now they're all pansy asses, huh?
That's what the women made out of them with this women's labor. I think it's terrible.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And nowadays, the women dress like the man. You see a couple walking down the road, you can't even tell who's who.
Yeah, especially those long-haired freaks. Anyway.
Yeah, and you know that, I saw a picture of that Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yes.
He's kind of homely.
Yeah,
he's lived a very hard 50-plus years.
He's 56 years old, and it's been a tough 56.
And my brother kept asking me if you saw that movie Wrestling, because him and his wife went, and he didn't like it that well because he said it was too sad, but she liked it.
Yeah, well,
it's not happy.
No, it's not happy, but that's life. That's the life of an old wrestler sometimes.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought it was good. You tell him I thought it was a good movie. Was this Sylvia?
What?
Was this Sylvia that saw it?
No, my brother.
Oh, your brother. Okay, yeah.
Brother Claire.
Yeah, it was a sad movie, but.
Well, Sylvia wanted to go see it too, but I don't remember. I don't think she's. Well, it hasn't come around here yet.
No, actually it is. It's in Alderwood, but you better go fast because it's going to be out of theaters soon.
It is?
Yeah, but it's in Alderwood right now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I'll have to tell her. Maybe she'll want to go. She might have gone this week. I don't know.
Yeah, you better tell her because it won't be there for long, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll let her know tomorrow then.
All right, Granny. Well, we got to let you go. We got to continue on with the show here, reviewing a terrible program, but we're going to have you on next week, and we'll hopefully have more Ask Granny questions.
Okay.
That'll be the plan. She's cackling at the
I
idea.
want to know if they want me to mention their name or not.
All right, make sure you mention whether you not want Granny to mention your name or not. Anchor, I know you do, but everybody else, make sure you specify.
Okay.
All right, Granny, thanks.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Adios. Yeah.
Granny decrying the women's lib movement and the pussification of the American male.
Where did that come from?
Wow.
Oh, Granny. Always a fun time with old Granny. We're back here on the show. We've got Granny here on the line. And Granny, what's going on?
I got a headache.
Oh. Now, hold on.
Have you tried drinking?
Before we get into this any further, I just want to say, since Granny's on the line, she'd probably like to say something as well. I want to hereby wish, without saying her name, of course, a very happy birthday to my mother. It is, in fact, her birthday today. So, happy birthday, Mom!
She's got another 20 minutes, sorry.
It's her birthday on Friday?
This will be up after midnight, Granny.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's settled.
Well, sorry you have a headache.
I was wondering if you'd remember. Well, I've been doing my homework.
Well,
I thought, up until today, nobody put in any questions for Granny, and I thought, oh, nobody cares. And then all of a sudden, wham.
Granny's always feeling a little,
She's sensitive.
She's sensitive, that's right. Granny, you want to say happy birthday to my mom?
I'm going to tell her tomorrow. I already got her gift. What are you buying for her today? I got her a gift.
Good question.
Today.
Well, I can't tell you on the air because she listens to the show.
She very seldom listens to it. You know that.
Quiet down, Grandma. All right, what are we talking about here?
She told me that.
Well, in some ways, I'm actually happy she doesn't listen to the show.
She probably doesn't want to listen to me.
Well,
I bet that's not it.
Can we go on with the show here? What are we doing today, Granny?
Okay, anyway, I have some questions for you first.
Oh, no.
Isn't there going to be some wrestling this coming Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Well, how come there hasn't been any... I haven't heard a thing about it.
Well, they do a poor job of promotion often.
True. It's also not until Lalip.
I think it may be sold out as well.
Oh, because Sylvia wanted to know if you guys would take her.
You know what's funny, now that I think about this, is I realize that we sometimes skip through some commercials, but I haven't seen a single fucking commercial on Raw or SmackDown for the show.
I haven't heard a thing. It was her that
they have played them.
Did last week. I heard it once last week, and then she somehow found out that it was going to be Sunday.
I have seen some commercials on Raw and SmackDown. I have heard them on the radio. They're doing something. Well,
the problem also, Granny, is tickets are a little bit expensive. I think our seats are $85 or something like that. So.
Oh, don't you get in for free?
Are you kidding me?
I thought you had a press pass or
Granny,
something.
there was a time when WWE and I were on friendly terms. I once got front row tickets for a house show.
I remember that. That was fun.
Then the next time I got tickets that were so high up I could touch the ceiling.
I should mention that the time we had front row tickets to the house show, we did bring Brent Kremen.
That's right. That made it in the end.
We made a mistake.
And then WWE got very angry at me and Dave, and now we don't get tickets anymore. So that's the story.
Oh, they're mad at you, huh?
Well, yeah. Things happen. I don't know why.
Anyway, and I found out all the people in the Dancing with the Stars, and that one guy, the football player, is going to be in it.
Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're going to have to cover it then, Granny.
Yeah, he's...
You have a list of names there very quickly?
Well, I'd rather not do it tonight, because I was going to do some of the stuff that the people asked me to answer about.
Granny's on topic here.
She has her own plan.
All right, Granny, well, go ahead. Let's start this. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's see. I'd have to start with something about you.
Oh.
I thought we already did.
It's not good.
One of them wants to know if there's a funny story about when you were little.
Of course not.
Yeah, well, kind of. When you were little, when you got tired, you would just get so hyper and you'd run around and sometimes bump your head on the coffee table. And
that explains a lot.
He still does that, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, and you're still doing it.
Still running around right before bedtime.
Well, Granny, here's a story you can tell everybody. Here's a story, so I can avoid more embarrassing stories. Tell a story about the time that I went to get a glass of water in the middle of the night.
Oh, and there was a spider in it.
That's
in
right.
the bottom of the glass, and ever since then, he looks in the glass. Every glass he ever picks up, he looks in there to see if there's a spider in it.
Now, what happened, Granny, when he saw this spider in the glass?
I'll tell you the story.
All right.
I saw the spider after I drank all the water.
Oh, dear.
And the spider was at the bottom.
How was the spider doing at that point?
Squashed. That was the worst part.
Mm.
So I probably drank...
Come on, now, don't make it any worse than it is.
I'm telling you how it was, Granny.
I can't even remember it myself.
I remember it to this day. I don't even think about doing it. I mean, I can't even help. I get a glass and I look at the bottom. To this day, I don't even think about it. I just do it. All right, what's next?
Well, and one person wants to know why you and I have a strong relationship, which is question mark. And I just figured it's probably because I've been in this with you right from the start, and every time when you were not quite so old, and you used to call up and say, "Hey, Granny, let's go to McDonald's," I'd drop everything and take you.
That's right, you did.
Yes,
But Granny, I think the other thing is we have a lot of relatives that I don't necessarily do all that much stuff with, and I will say, Granny, that one of the things about you is you're a rebel, Granny. You're quite a personality. You're a troublemaker. So
yeah, because your mom's real quiet and she doesn't want to get involved in any of this stuff, and I'm just the opposite. So.
Yeah, you jump in with both feet. That's true.
Another thing, I think I told this one before. You'd come over on Saturday night and sit on my lap and watch Car 54.
Don't remember this at all.
You don't?
I do.
I can even remember how old you were, but I'm not telling anybody.
Okay, can we move on now? What's next on the list here?
Well, let's see. Another one wanted to know what I'd want you to be if you hadn't been a wrestler.
I don't even know the answer.
What would you want to be, even though he was a wrestler? That's a better question.
The only thing I can say, if you hadn't have gone into wrestling, you'd have probably been a fence builder like your dad and your uncle.
Nope, I wouldn't have, actually.
I do not see Bryan being a successful fence builder.
Let me tell you a story here, Granny, okay? This is a true story. You know when the first time I ever said a swear word was?
When?
I remember this distinctly.
When you were building the fence?
Nope, I was in 6th grade. We were at my old house. I was walking down the driveway. I was near the end of the driveway where we used to have the pen where Dobie lived and then the pig lived later on.
Yeah.
I was with Chris Walla. We were walking to his house, and he said to me, "Bryan, when you grow up, are you going to be a fence builder?" And without hesitating, I said, "Hell no!" First time in my life, right there.
What an amazing story that is.
It's a true story.
I don't know which part to question. But
I remember this vividly as well.
You had a pig?
Yeah, we had a pig. We had a whole bunch of animals. I could tell plenty of stories, but we're taking time out of Granny's thing here. Go on, Granny.
Oh, well, another one to know if you ever had a little blankie.
A blankie?
I did.
Did I?
I know I did.
I don't remember if you did or not.
I had, like, Fuzzy Bear.
So, in fact, somewhere in a trunk I still have mine.
Wow.
You're kidding.
No, somewhere in a trunk I have a blankie. I have a stuffed buffalo that I called Cody. And my even more than the blankie when I was a young boy, my closest companion was a doll that it was like a little baby doll that had like an orange jumpsuit on.
Well, that explains a lot.
And I, being the creative genius that I am, named this doll Orange Dolly. And up until like kindergarten, that doll went everywhere I went.
Wow. Who bought you a criminal doll?
Back on to me here.
All right. Sorry, Granny. Sorry. Let me turn us down.
Another one was, what do they think of you being king of the board? Well, all I got to say is I got so many emails that said, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me.
Ridiculous. Why were those people sending those to you, Granny?
Oh, you were.
Oh, come on now. Seriously.
I opened my email and it'd say, vote for me.
All right, enough out of you. What's next?
I had a couple of other people.
I don't like this segment anymore.
I had Ed, he tried to get me to vote for him. And
Ed was a little nutty, yeah?
I think I asked you about Sinbad, and you said go ahead and vote for him, so I think I voted for him.
Sure, yeah.
But that's the only other one that I voted for besides you.
All right, well, that's good, that's good.
And they all want to know if it's what I think you being king of the board. I'll have to hold a pause on that one, see what you do. But anyway, I had this dream. I dreamt that it was something like a round circle, It looked like a pie, and it was cut into pie squares. And I don't know what it meant, except maybe that everybody wants a slice of the pie.
Well, they always do.
Slice of the board or something, but that was my dream.
That's a fascinating dream, Granny.
I also often dream of pie.
Yeah, so whatever you're going to do with it, we'll see, huh?
All right, I guess so. Is there one more question?
There's a whole bunch of them. When do you want me to quit?
Let's do a few more here. We got to save some for next week, too.
Well, let me see. Where'd I get here? Somebody wanted to know about my German heritage.
All right.
And they wanted to know about background. But I have a family tree, a whole book of my dad's relatives that goes way, 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 way back.
Really? So I could check that out and see if I am, in fact, legitimate royalty?
Well, I kind of misplaced it. I think I loaned it to somebody, and I don't know where it is.
Oh. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
All right. So any stories about your ancestry?
No, not that many.
But you're German.
On my dad's side, and I knew my mom's side more than I didn't hardly know anybody on my dad's side growing up, but I did know on my mom's side.
Now, let me ask you one question here, Granny, very quickly. What was it like being of German heritage during World War II when you were here in America?
Well, that's funny. I'm surprised that they didn't, but then...
Put you in a camp?
Well, I guess we've been citizens for so long and everything that...
so were some other people. Sure.
It was most of the Japanese people that they...
Yeah.
Well, they look different, you see, so they must be,
That's right. The Germans didn't actually attack Pearl Harbor, so...
Yeah. Another one was, they wanted to know if I ever felt like beating you when you were little.
Beating me?
Yeah, and I said, no, because you never caused any problems.
What?
I've
said that so many times.
Because you're always using such bad language.
Granny, I've said that so many times and nobody believes me. I was an angel. A cherub.
What happened to you then?
I don't know. Wrestling, actually. All right, one more, Granny.
Well, let me see. Oh, one of them wants to know, and he said I could mention his name, Brett Jones. He wants to know what I think happens to people when they die.
All right.
All right.
And after I die, I hope I can go to heaven and see my son and my mom and my dad and my sister and my brother and many of my friends that I outlived.
Yeah?
Yeah. That would be good.
Well, one more thing I wanted to ask you about. I had some ones that were answered by just one.
Quite a segue.
Where was that? One of them wanted to know if I was going to slap Ed alongside the head if he hadn't lost weight when I go to Vegas, but I'm not going to be going, so he'll...
What? You're not going now?
Huh?
You're not going?
Nah.
Oh, come on, Granny. We're trying to work on something for you.
I doubt if I'm going to go.
Granny, don't close the door on this yet. We're working on something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing. The other night I accidentally remember when that guy said 10 reasons why Granny sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I never got to see it. And the other night I was going through the stuff, and all of a sudden here it comes up. I sat there and laughed so hard.
Really, Ted the Trailer McNail are burying you.
Oh,
yeah,
that list.
And
yeah.
I put it on my favorites, so every once in a while I get in there.
Oh,
that was a tremendous list.
I will have to let him know that you saw that and you put it on your favorites.
Because she's from Washington and Washington sucks.
That's right.
Yeah. It was so funny.
He is a fantastic man.
He is a really great guy. Well, Granny, I want to thank you for doing the show today. We actually got to get running, but you hold on to that list, and we'll add more to it with each passing week, and we'll make this a weekly segment.
Well, tell everybody I'm sorry I didn't get to their part. There was one more I wanted to ask you about.
Granny, Granny's taking over the show.
What is the AWO theme song?
Oh, God.
It's a terrible joke, Granny.
It's a bad in-joke, Granny.
Oh, it is?
And we're not going to play it on the air.
Somebody wanted to know tell you to play it.
I'm stunned that somebody would do that.
That man is a fool, Granny.
This person's banned from asking questions. Banned from asking questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll do the rest next week then.
All right, sounds good.
Tell them not to get too overboard on them, though.
I will try.
I get a headache doing all my homework.
Well, no more questions, guys. Come on.
Okay.
Now. All right, okay. Granny, we'll talk to you after a while.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Granny clearly needs her own show. All right, we're back here on the show. We've got Granny here on the line. Granny, what's happening?
Oh, lots of things.
Like?
I don't know. I had quite an experience yesterday. I was supposed to have my brother and his wife and my other brother come up for lunch, and my sister-in-law called and said they couldn't come because one of her front teeth fell out.
That's a downer.
Well, that's no good.
So she's got the same problem I had. So anyway, my brother came up and we went and played pool for 2.5 hours. What a lot of fun we had.
Now, why was losing one tooth grounds for not coming up?
Well, because she didn't want to be seen in public with her tooth gone. In fact, she had a dental appointment the very next morning, and they're leaving tomorrow for a vacation, and it just so happened that the dentist put in a fake tooth for her.
Outstanding work.
Until they come back from vacation.
She should have put some makeup on her eye and told people she was in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
And you should have seen what happened to the other guy.
Yeah. Well, she didn't want to go in public, so anyway. So, but I made so much food. I had meatloaf and potato salad, and I made some borscht soup.
Some what?
It's borscht.
Oh, borscht.
Yeah.
It's a Russian
Nikki
dish.
brought over the boys, and so she ate with us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I have another thing, too.
All right.
Do you guys remember Tanya Harding?
Yes.
Sure do.
Did you know I was looking up the thing, and do you know of a wrestler named Art Barr?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that she was his manager in 1994?
In fact, we did, but that's quite the investigation you did, Granny.
Oh, I thought I'd find something that you didn't know.
Well, keep trying.
I never heard of that, Granny. You don't say. Art Barr and Tanya Harding?
Yeah, how about that?
In 94?
How many matches did she box in?
I suspect 1.
No.
Oh, boxing? Oh.
5.
6. She won 3 and lost 3.
Wow. Well, 50%. She's got a better record than Tank Abbott.
Who's Tank Abbott?
So you know Tanya Harding and Art Barr, you don't know Tank Abbott?
Who's that?
I'm going to do some investigations here, Granny. He's a fighter. He looks like Wayne, just fatter.
Wayne?
Yeah. Your son.
I don't know him.
Your son, Granny.
Huh?
Your son.
What about it?
Wayne!
Oh.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's start over.
All right. What do you have to talk about this week?
Oh, let me see. I had somebody ask me about if I have a pet.
If you have a pet. I wanted to talk to you about this.
We were talking about Carly's age.
I wanted to talk about this with you, Granny. Go ahead and start, and then I'll butt in.
Anyway, I checked through the thing, and I guess how old she is in human years.
How old?
102.
You know, Granny, I wanted to talk to you about this, because I know you've told us that this cat, you told me the other day that this cat is 23 years old.
22.
22. And, are you sure?
I'm very positive.
The cat was born...
Granny, I believe the world record for a cat in the Guinness Book of World Records is 25.
Something like that.
Your cat was born in 1987?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan was
wait
president?
a minute. She was born before that. She was about, I'd say probably 6 months old when we moved in here.
Now, Granny, I was reading on the internet, because I immediately did this after we had this talk about your cat, and it said cats can live as long as 19 years if they're indoor cats. This is an outdoor cat, and it's 22 years old?
That's right.
How is this possible? I can't believe this.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, because I told you the other day that she was about 6 months old when the neighbor had to move, and she asked if we could take her.
Are you sure this is the same cat?
Yep.
Call Guinness. Get some carbon dating done on this cat.
See, here's the other reason. I'm not saying you're a liar or anything, Granny, but, memories and this and that. Here's the other reason I find this hard to believe. We had a cat. Remember our fuzzy cat?
Yeah, the one that it lost its bladder or something.
I don't recall this, but I remember this cat had a lot of fur. This was the cat that every year Dad shaved because he thought the cat was too hot.
Uh-huh.
So he shaved its body. It was like a Persian cat. Now, this cat, I got this cat when I was like, I was very young. I had to be 5 or 6. And this cat was still around when I was like 24. So this cat was at least 20 years old. This cat was immobile. This cat could not really move. This cat would stand still in one spot, and if you ran into it, it would tip over, like cow tipping. This cat was old and decrepit, and it looked 101 years old. Your cat is supposedly 22 years old, and this cat looks like it's 5 years old.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That's how old she is.
All right, well.
My cat was 19 when she finally died, and she appeared to have been dead for many years before that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Man, you got to see this cat. This cat is like, you would look at this cat, you'd say maybe 8 years old. It's impossible to think this cat's 22. All right, Granny.
It is, because I remember when we moved in here, and the gal next door had to move out, and she asked us if we'd take it.
You sure you don't have this off by like 10 years?
Nope, and it was in 1987.
It's amazing.
Same year your grandpa died.
It's incredible. I'll take your word for it, Granny.
I hope so, because I'm not lying here.
I was 12 when you got this cat. 12!
Yeah, probably.
All right. What else do you have?
Let's go back to some more questions. I had one person ask me if I was ever watched any of your movies where I was worried about your life.
Were you watched any of my movies and you were worried about...
your wrestling.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, the only one I can remember of is when you and Tim Flowers did that wrestling for an hour.
That was the one you were worried about my life?
Match.
Yeah, I must have aged 10 years during that one.
Were you worried he might get backslid to death?
Thank God the cat wasn't there for that one then.
Well, I didn't care too much for Flowers because he was pretty mean.
Let me tell you something about Tim Flowers, Granny. That may have been one of the safest matches I ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
This man once wrestled Pete Cruz, for God's sake.
I wrestled Pete Cruz several times, actually. I wrestled Paul, and he broke my orbital bone. I wrestled, what's his face? Riley, and he broke my back. I don't remember who I was wrestling, and I broke my knees and my shoulders.
You were wrestling myself, and you broke your shoulder.
That's right. I separated my shoulder wrestling you.
Doing your own low drop kick, not my fault.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Well,
I've been injured far
I didn't
more.
Know.
Yes, the most dangerous matches were not involving Tim Flowers. He was one of the safer opponents. Yeah.
He was mean, though.
What can you say? Go ahead, Granny.
Okay, let's see. Oh, they wanted to know if I've been to any other countries. The only other place I've been is Mexico.
What?
What?
You've been to Mexico?
I've been to Mexico 2 or 3 times.
You say this like everyone's been to Mexico, Granny. I've never been there.
Well, I was to Legales, and then, what's the other one?
Cabo?
No.
San Luis?
Philo, Arizona.
Mazatlan.
Tijuana.
Tijuana.
You went to Tijuana?
What?
When we were down in Tijuana, my son, when we came home, he swore up and down that they had to haul me out of this tavern because we were drinking tequila with the salt.
What?
Yeah.
And he claimed I passed out. But I don't remember doing that.
Well, of course not, because you passed out.
That's what he said.
Wow.
Well, Granny, you are officially significantly more hardcore than I am. I have never passed out in a barn in Tijuana before.
I don't really think it was true, but
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I did drink but I don't remember passing out or anything. I think I was just fine.
Okay.
I think he was just kidding me.
So you remember, I assume, waking up in a car screaming for the border?
No, because I can't remember. I can't remember where we stayed that night.
Exactly, you were unconscious.
Maybe for days.
We might have came home the same night. I can't remember.
Oh boy!
But I remember once we had a bottle of gin in the car, and the guy said, "You got anything in there?" And we said, "We got a bottle of gin." And they said, "Sorry, you can't come across until you drink it." So we just kind of backed up and went in through another window, and they said, "Do you have anything to drink?" And we said, "No," and drove right on through.
Jesus.
Put one over on them.
Wow, Granny.
I used to have a lot of fun when I was younger.
Man, woman.
Smuggling, contraband.
Sure. Wow. I don't plan on ever going to Tijuana either, Granny. It's too hardcore.
In fact, one time we were down there with your grandpa, when your grandpa and I were down there, and this one Mexican woman took a liking to him, and she was trying to drag him into the back room.
Oh, boy. There was almost another fight there, huh, Granny?
I almost pushed him.
You mean fold him, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Pushed him into the room with her.
That's okay. That would have been a great story.
All right, Granny, one more.
Only one more?
We got a show here to do, Granny.
Well, see, somebody wanted to know what age I was when I first started driving, and I didn't drive until I was in my 20s, and my brother-in-law taught me, and they wanted to know what kind of a car I have. I have a 2005 Pontiac Sunfire.
I think they were asking what type of car did you have when you learned to drive?
Oh,
Model
no,
T?
no, they want to know what I have now.
Well, what did you have when you learned to drive?
Oh, I can't remember. It was just fairly, it wasn't stick shift, but I did used to drive stick shift, but we had a pickup truck, and I don't know how many clutches I pulled out of them.
Oh, Granny.
Did you ever drive an Edsel?
No, never have.
That's too bad.
Model T?
No, let's see, I used to have a, what do you call those? A Packard.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No, I had one, and I think that thing would have been worth an awful lot of money.
Yes, it would have. I'd have paid you an awful lot of money for that car nowadays.
Yeah, it was a nice little black coupe.
Oh, Granny.
Yeah,
My
and
God.
I used to have one without the roof and called it George. I used to run that around.
Now, Granny,
George the car?
You wrote some memoirs a while back, and your memoirs were like 8 pages long and included none of these insane stories.
Well, I did mostly just when I was a kid.
Yeah, you need to do a new memoir with all these nutty stories about your life.
Oh, well, I just, after I turned 18, my life was kind of so different that, after
skip
getting
to that
married
part.
and have a kind of marriage that wasn't exactly a good marriage, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Huh.
Not exactly good.
I didn't really want to talk about it that much.
Well, I guess there's
Skip that part too, then.
Hey, you could have just said that you did shove him into the back room and you never saw him again.
Sure. Skip to the part where you passed out in a Tijuana bar.
Yeah, drinking tequila with lime.
No, I would have pushed him.
Oh, boy. All right, Granny, I'll let you do one more here.
No, let me see. Oh, they want to know why I liked Rod Van Dam best than I do. I've said this before. I liked him because he did the kind of like gymnastic stuff like you do.
And
jumping off the ropes and all that stuff.
He did
That's
more
why
flippy-doos.
He was a fast-moving one. And the other one, and they wanted to know if I liked anybody else, and I kind of, Shawn Michaels would be the next one.
See, Granny knows her stuff.
Rob Van Dam and then Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Granny, you know your stuff there. You know your stuff.
So that's it for this. Somebody's going to be disappointed because I didn't get to get them all in here.
Well, just hold on to them, and we'll keep going through them over the course of the next few months, you know?
Yeah, I keep forgetting which ones I talked about, though.
Yeah, we'll remember Rod Van Dam.
Okay.
All right,
Another thing, I might have to have more surgery on my tooth.
Oh, no. Oh, Granny.
I think I've got some little chips of bone in there, and it's bothering me really bad, so I have to go back to the surgeon again next week.
Yeah, maybe they'll give you some more gizmos.
Not looking forward to it, but anyway.
I wouldn't either if I were you, but... All right, Granny. Well, next week, if you're not in surgery, we'll have another edition of Ask Granny.
All righty.
All right, well, that'll be the plan then. Have a good night.
Okay, you better give me more time next time.
Granny, you want a whole show or something?
I'm gonna, oh, by the way, I was listening to you and Craig tonight, too, your show.
Yeah?
And both of you are going to Houston, huh?
Yes, we are.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about your trip to Vegas here in the next couple of weeks, too, Granny. We're working on some stuff for you.
Well, as tired as I got playing pool yesterday. It was so much fun, though.
Well, start training, Granny. Start training.
Okay.
Get on that bike.
You're riding my bike.
That's right. Keep working on that thing.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you after a while.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Adios. Mad woman. We are back here on the show, everybody. We have Granny here on the line. Granny, what's new?
Well, I just got on my email here to see if you were going to email me that you weren't going to call.
No, we're only a little bit late tonight.
Yeah, you were probably ranting and raving about something before, huh?
Never.
Come on, Granny.
I got a nice email from Rodney Rogers.
Yeah?
He always he emails me some nice things.
Yes, he's a fine man.
Nice to hear from him.
That's right. It's always nice when people send Granny nice emails.
I listened to you and Buddy. It was kind of depressing.
About Paul no longer wrestling?
Well, you guys are, Buddy doesn't seem like he's very happy.
We were talking about the state of independent wrestling, Granny. It would make anybody depressed.
That was pretty sad.
It is very sad. It's much sadder when you're a wrestler.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's going to have his little guy up there doing it too, huh?
His little guy? You mean his son?
Yeah.
Yeah, his son is... You can't get that kid out of the ring.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Unfortunately, there may not be a business by the time he turns 18.
Well, you get him started young and he won't forget.
That's true. That's true. He may be the one of all of us to carry on the legacy of great pro wrestling.
Poor kid.
Stop the show. Repeat.
Yes, undoubtedly true, Granny.
Yes.
Now, how's the mailbag? How's the mailbag coming along?
Hey, I didn't get anything this week.
Really? I don't even know where the mailbag is, Granny. Where are you looking?
Well, there was something there last week, but I didn't have anything there this week at all.
But, I mean, what section is it in?
Somebody actually got on there and said they didn't know where to ask, where to put it.
I didn't either. I was looking for it today. What section is it in?
Well, the last one was in the shows.
Oh, I see.
In the shows.
Well, I'll have to make a separate mailbag thread for Ask Granny.
Oh, that would be nice.
Because people get confused,
Yeah.
All right. So no new questions this week, or do we still have some left
Well,
over?
I still have some left from last week.
Okay, well, perfect. Let's get into some of those, and then we'll open a new thread for next week.
Okay, next week could probably Dancing with the Stars if anybody be it. Wait a minute. It's not till the 9th, I don't think, for Dancing with the Stars.
So we got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We could do a preview.
Well, I guess we could.
Yeah, because I usually what I do is I get on the computer and they have pictures of each individual one with their instructor, and so I just print them all out. So I have every week I have write on the picture what their scores were and stuff like that.
Wow, you print it out with your printer.
That is a very good idea, Granny.
God, I don't even have a printer, if you can believe that, Granny.
You don't?
No.
Wow.
I don't either.
Yeah, what would you need a printer for?
Resumes?
Yes, it.
Well, I probably wouldn't have one either, but Lynn bought it for me.
Well, that's for pictures, though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, I don't do pictures. I just go off the computer. I don't know how to... Oh, yeah, I can do my pictures, too. That's right. I did one of little Carlos.
Yeah.
And the one, my thing in the living room has all those pictures in it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the questions, Granny.
Okay, one of them said, do I have a Wii? I don't have one, and I wouldn't even know how to work one.
Well, at least you know what it is.
I was going to say.
Well, I don't think I do. I just know the name, but I don't think I'd know one if I saw it.
Well, sure, but the fact that you know the name is actually pretty good, Granny. I think most people's grandmothers would have no idea what a Wii is.
Well, I got little great-grandsons, that...
That's true.
I knew they got one, and...
Granny, maybe you should get a Wii, because I think they've got, like, a Wii bowling game.
Oh, goody.
It's like a game, and you wear this or you have this thing on your hand, and you move your hand like you're bowling, and the ball on the screen rolls.
Well, I could do that on the computer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't actually stand up and pretend like you're really rolling.
Oh, God, that sounds horrid.
Maybe it's not for you then, Granny.
I don't think so.
Granny never lies to you.
No, of course not.
She gives you the straight truth.
That's right. The real deal.
The real deal.
Yes, Granny, you're gonna be the unofficial the manager of our Team Real Deal stable.
Okay.
All right.
They want to know my favorite songs are Elvis. Everybody knows that.
Except the guy who asked.
They want to know about a movie, but I don't go to movies because I don't like the violence.
Do you have any favorite Elvis songs?
Yes, I do. I forget the name of it. Suspicious Mind is my favorite.
That's a good one.
Suspicious Mind.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Any reason for that?
I don't know. I just like it.
All right.
And when he came over to the senior center and I was selling tickets and he came out and I asked him if he'd sing it and he did.
Wait. Elvis went to the senior center?
The one that impersonates Danny.
Okay, well, that changes the story slightly. I thought Elvis came by.
No, I like him so well, I just consider him Elvis.
I see. Huh. All right. Now, as far as movies, you don't go to new movies, but what were your favorite movies back in the day? Gone with the Wind?
It was okay, but my favorite was Two Girls and a Sailor.
Two Girls and a Sailor.
Yeah.
And I bet that had Judy Garland. Or not Judy Garland, Shirley Temple.
No, didn't have Shirley Temple.
Really?
Betty Davis.
As Gloria DeHaven, then Van Johnson, and I forget the other.
Gloria DeHaven, of course. Yeah.
That was my next guess.
Yeah. All right, go on, Granny.
That was my favorite back then. And let me see. They wanted to know if I know any German words. Well, the only German words I know are the bad ones.
How come everyone says that? Well, give us one, Granny.
Well, and we never really learned German. We learned English right from the start. So
Sure.
We didn't know too much of it.
Give us one German swear word.
I don't want to.
Nobody in Germany is listening right now, I promise.
Oh, yeah, somebody would.
All right, she's got us there.
I was lying.
All right, Granny, go ahead.
Oh, let's see. Oh, somebody asked me what my favorite advice was, and all I could think of was what my mom taught me, to appreciate everything and not to feel sorry for myself and have lots of faith.
Those are good, yes.
Yes. Yeah, and they also wanted to know if I think pot should be for medical purposes, and I agree it should.
Wow. Granny's a very, she's
progressive?
Progressive, yes.
Okay, and I got one more. Somebody wanted to know where I was when JFK died. I was at a bowling alley, and we had just finished a bowling league.
I told you, we bowling.
Yeah, we bowling.
I'm telling you, Granny, that's your game.
Well, I used to be pretty good, and I was a bowling instructor.
Granny, let's see. What other things could we ask? Where were you like the day that Pearl Harbor was bombed? Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were on the farm, and I think it happened on a Sunday, and we didn't know about it till we got to school the next day.
So there was no internet back then?
Heavens, no. Wasn't even any radio unless you had a car battery.
Holy cow.
Wow. That was way back then, Granny.
Yeah, that's how we used to listen to that show with the train.
Does it surprise you how much new technology there's been in your single lifetime, Granny?
Oh, yeah.
Like when you were on the farm there, when Pearl Harbor was bombed, you couldn't listen to the radio without a car battery, and now you're playing bowling on the internet, on your computer.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
How do you keep up?
Well, I really don't. I just kind of stay behind the scene.
Yeah. Now, before we go, Granny, we were talking about the cat last week, your elderly cat, and you were looking for some verification, but you could not find it.
I could not find it. I have looked all over the house because the gal gave me a receipt of when she had all her shots and everything, and I had it in with all my papers, and I've been just going through and...
Granny's determined.
I don't know if I threw it out or not, or put it some safe place and don't know where it is, but I've looked all over and I can't find it, and it's driving me crazy because I'd really like to know.
So this cat could be older than 22. This cat could, for example, be 24.
Well, the thing of it is, I'm not too sure. When we moved in here, she was already, the lady lived there, but I'm not sure if she had the cat yet. So, because she was here, I don't remember how many years she was here before she gave me the cat.
I see.
That's the big problem.
I see. So this cat could also be younger.
Well, could be maybe not more than 2 years, though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Granny, continue that investigation, and we'll open up an Ask Granny area on the board in the radio show section for next week, and we'll fill that bag up for you.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. And if I missed any of the questions, I'm sorry, guys.
That's right. Granny does her best, everybody, so don't give her a hard time.
Okay.
Or she'll swear at you in German, give you the real deal in another language.
Oh, yeah, and it's a baddie.
And it's a baddie. All right, Granny. We're going to let you go.
All righty.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
All righty.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Adios. Team Real Deal, right there.
When Granny said her favorite film was Two Girls and a Sailor. There's 6 boxes in this room that may contain movies with titles very similar to that.
I was going to say, we might have Two Girls and a Sailor in one of those right there.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't think we better look through it right now.
I'm not going to.
No. I'm still afraid of what might happen if I open some of those boxes, what might waft out.
We don't know what's in the lower levels of those boxes.
No, we really don't. This is from Rue Diego Rat Ray. I actually knew a Rat Ray once. I don't think this person is related. The shout-out is for Viva Rat Ray, who is the baby warrior, and for Rhonda Rat Ray, who is the center of our universe. May all Rat Rays everywhere embrace the rats, pigeons, skunks, and other denizens of the nocturnal world. Never forget that the spirit of Rat Ray flows through the brave and mighty. Never forget that the celestial choir sings out for Viva and Rhonda, and that the glory of the sun and its residents, denizens, and prophets will forever settle in the house of the rat. Never forget that as the glacial waters run and the magma of caldera soars, so as much the house of Rat Ray rises. May Viva Rat Ray read her books, eat her vegetables, and reject the frivolous. And may the house of Rat Ray emerge in glory and honor at the emergence of the rodent night. Thanks, Bryan!
Wow.
I have no earthly idea what I just read.
It sounded very impressive, though.
I have no earthly idea what I just read.
It sounded like he was frankly setting the bar very, very high for his young child.
I think someone needs to set that to music and make a drop out of that. Because I think that'd be quite the song right there.
Choir singing. Hallelujahs.
Yeah.
When you turned out the light and walked out the door, I said to myself, what did I come here for? Did you have a good time drinking whiskey and rhyme? And did you wanna be Bonnie and Clyde? What goes on in your mind? What goes on in your head? Who did you think I would be? Well, you got me instead. You think there's some connection, that I'm your female reflection, but no. I can be loyal and I can be true, but that's for somebody else and it will never be you. You think we're predetermined? Oh, baby, you're learning way too slow. But it seems such a long time ago. Oh, fish man. Guess I'll just never know. Seems such a long time